3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Justin Fields at work. Deep in his own end, he drops the snap, and Fields is in trouble. The ball is still loose, and the Patriots seemingly have it at the 10. New England takes over.
Dumb teams do dumb things. This has been happening all night. They obviously haven't corrected it, and now you pay the price for another low snap that hits the quarterback in an ankle.
Pats Radio nailing it right there. Dumb teams do dumb things. That's Scott Zolak. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Jets are a tough watch right now. Very, very tough watch. And
right now? You mean anytime in the last
decade.
12 years?
Yeah, it's been rough, and we can get to that side of it. And even their new acquisition, A.D. Mitchell, with some big drops last night. And we'll get to Justin Fields maybe really having the blame placed on him, or maybe he's actually not the problem. But let's pause on the Patriots, because they are the team now that has won 8 in a row. Mm-hmm. They are the team now that has, at this moment, the best record in football. But I'm going to be honest, we just played that fumble, And that happened at the 8-yard line, and the Patriots could not punch the ball in. They settled for a field goal. Now, it made it a 3-score game. It was 14-27 at that point, 27-14. But I'm going to be honest with you, like, I'm not that impressed yet with what the Patriots are doing. Drake May looks like the truth, but when your wide receivers are open by 10 yards and there's not anyone around them, I'd hope that he'd be able to complete some of these passes.
Some of these passes, he completed all of the passes.
Right. So, but he's playing basically, it looked like practice out there for him last night.
Yeah, looked like pitch and catch, I agree.
Yeah, and Travion Henderson is also fantastic. He's a revelation. Not surprised because he had a great college career as well. But here's just what I'm looking at when it comes to the Patriots. They're kind of reminding me of that Minnesota team with Kirk Cousins from a couple years ago that won like 14 games, got to the playoffs, got a home game, and Manny's Giants came in and beat them with Daniel Jones. Like, here's why. The Patriots win so far this year: Miami, Carolina, Buffalo, New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, the Jets. Besides Buffalo, who has a top 10 offense, kinda, and Cleveland, who kinda used to have a top 10 defense, the Pats have not played a team that is top 10 or even really close in any major statistical category. So what happens, Pearl, when they actually have to play a really good team? Because Tampa Bay right now, who they beat last week, Tampa Bay's in a funky situation because of Baker Mayfield's injured oblique and the other injuries they have on offense. I don't know who the Pats really are. It looks gaudy now for the record, but I think that just is it. They're paper tigers.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay is careening towards 500 quickly. So I think you have the wrong team, though, because that Vikings team did beat good teams. I know because my timeline was loaded with, it was the 3-year anniversary of Justin Jefferson's catch against the Bills in 2022.
Yeah, well.
They beat good teams, but they had this very, very thin margin victory. And they had a very small DVOA, which is an analytic to describe how successful they are. So that team was thinly winning over good and bad teams. This is the 2003 Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning. Stuck in a terrible.
Okay.
Or what's this team? There's a team, I can't really put my finger on it. They're in a really weak division. They've won it 5 times in a row. They have bad owners all over the division and no competition. Oh, right. The Buffalo Bills, who get to the playoffs, is like, wait, we're disappointed in the playoffs again. Yeah, no dub, because you just beat up the AFC East.
Okay,
they are
wait,
the Buffalo Bills, Maggie, and you're nervous and you're criticizing Drake May because you have to understand that someone is on Josh Allen's corner.
No, well, I said that 6 weeks ago, so you can't get me with that. I said that even the day that
I got you.
Well, I don't think so, but maybe you did. So yes, Drake May, like the Bills squandered their opportunity when the Pats were down. I said that months ago at this point. And yeah, I have every reason to be upset as a Bills fan or be nervous. But here's the situation and why you're totally wrong about that. The Bills have won 5 AFC champion titles in a row, right? AFC East, excuse me. They've won the division 5 years in a row.
Right.
Well, you know what? Only the first year do you actually play anything but a first place schedule. So the Bills have actually been playing first place schedule. Sure, the division has been easy for them, no doubt. But how about the rest of the schedule when the Bills every year play the Chiefs? They're playing your Philadelphia Eagles, feels like for the 15th year in a row. Bills always have to go on the road, primetime games. The Bills' schedule has been rough, okay? Yeah, you can pencil in Miami, the Jets, and New England before this season. But how many times they played the Ravens in the regular season? I mean, they have been playing a first-place schedule for years. So miss me with the Patriots are being tested in the same way that the Bills are tested. It's just not true. They're not being tested.
But the Bills always had so much room for error because, like, what was going to happen, even if they lost all those games, what's the difference? They were just going to go and stomp on the Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots with Bill Belichick. That was easy peasy.
Hold on. Yeah, right. Belichick. I love how we just knew the last couple
5 years. Well, I'm talking about the last 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. Do you actually think the Patriots are a Super Bowl contender?
No, no. Did I think the 2003 Colts were? No. Did I really think?
Okay, so what's the ceiling for the Patriots then?
I think the ceiling, maybe AFC title game a la Mike Vrabel's Titans a few years ago.
Okay. And you think that like Ryan Tannehill threw how many picks in that game? 1 million?
Well, that was more of a Derrick Henry game. But yeah, no, I think, listen, I was just kind of giving you a hard time about the Bills. But no, I agree. And I think most people agree. Can this team at this point beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs? I kind of doubt it. I think they are a little dangerous. I do think Drake May is very, very good. That is for sure. And he's got Stephon Diggs, much like Josh Allen,
Yeah.
the parallel there, who last night we saw is a great safety valve. So I think they're better than that Vikings team from a few years ago, which was really the tires were getting loose at the end of the season. But I don't think I think they're much closer to the Manning Colts teams where they're totally untested come playoff time. And yeah, I think we're all in agreement. They're not a top 2 contender in the AFC.
What about this year's Colts? Take away the 2003 Peyton Manning
No, I mean,
Colts.
the Colts are, but no, the Colts aren't top 4. I would say, I mean, obviously, I think everybody, if you look at the odds, I'm sure it's Chiefs 1, probably Bills are 2, but I think the Ravens are 3rd, and then the Patriots.
Okay, so what you're basically saying is that the top 2 teams in the AFC, right,
Yeah.
by record, the big feel-good stories of the year, especially Indianapolis, that this means absolutely nothing.
Well, it means
So
something, but it doesn't. No, I don't think anybody has them. I'd be just as shocked as everyone else if the Colts got through the AFC.
All right, well, listen, they might have home field. The back
Right.
end of their schedule but do you think that another team can come in and beat them? I mean,
Of
doesn't home
course.
field have to count for something? What if it's New England?
I mean, wait.
What if it's New England who gets home field advantage? And you have to get some of these warm weather dome teams. You always talk about how Lamar Jackson can't play outside when it's cold.
I mean,
what
John,
if you get something like that?
I guess I'm a little further. I mean, the Colts, okay. I'm looking at the odds now. Actually, the Colts, I'm surprised, are second. The Chiefs are a heavy favorite. Then Colts, then Bills, then Patriots. And the Patriots and Ravens are tied for 4th. I think the Colts are about to have a couple losses, and I think those odds are going to come down. I wouldn't. If you want to pick the Colts, wait a couple weeks. I think they're going to slip down because they're 8-2 now. But you see Daniel Jones is starting to turn the ball over a lot more. I think I don't have the metrics in front of me. I'm sure they're getting worse and worse. I think the Colts are coming back to earth. Do you see the Colts as what? Are you looking at them as a team to emerge? You don't think it's a Patriots? That's clear. So is it just going to be the Chiefs as usual, or is it going to be one of these emerging teams?
Okay.
I think that's what you're asking.
Yeah, so this is where I am, and this is why I think the AFC is really tough right now. Because I don't think a lot of people, you could watch last night as a little bit gaudy, or it really wasn't actually. It was a 1-score game heading into the 4th quarter. They kind of let the Jets hang around, even though the Jets' 2 best defensive players got traded a couple weeks ago, and they're off, and Garrett Wilson is on IR. They have really nothing, and they were still hanging in this game for all intents and purposes. I think what's weird about this season is that the top 2 teams now by record in the AFC, it feels like it means absolutely nothing. And my big question is we're all expecting that the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Bills are going to somehow kick into this other gear. And guys, before that happens, we got to see it. Like, you want to, like, what are the Bills going to do this week against Tampa? They could lose that game.
To Tampa, if they lose to Tampa in Buffalo, then it's major, major trouble. But I don't expect them to lose.
Okay, but let's just say it wouldn't be an egregious outcome, okay?
Well,
Both
what is it,
teams
like
are
a
coming
6-point spread? Yeah, I mean, to me, that would be a disaster.
Okay, let's do the other way then.
Yeah.
If the playoffs started today, the Ravens and the Chiefs would not be in it, right? So, yeah, we can talk about how they're trending, but we actually have to see these, like, I think Jory Epstein joined us yesterday, called them the old guard AFC teams. Mm-hmm. We've got to see them actually find this other gear. Like, we actually have to watch them do it, because right now, like, to me, do I see the Chiefs as a team who look like they're going to rattle off 7 wins in a row?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, you and I maybe see them a little bit differently. Do the Ravens look like a team that can't drop a weird game to an AFC rival?
Maybe, but they look like they're about to rattle off a bunch of wins too.
All right, and maybe this entire thing flips on its head. I just think it's a unique spot, because the teams that we actually think are the legit contenders in the AFC are not even in the playoff picture right now. Like, technically, they are not. And meanwhile, you got the Pats and the Colts, who have been these big stories, sitting on top and maybe cruising to home playoff games.
Yeah, I mean, we do have as humans the ability to foresee the future. I mean, I think I'll speak for NFL Nation, we'd be shocked if the Chiefs didn't go on a little run here. We'd be shocked if the Bills didn't go on a little run here. I mean, you're right, maybe things have changed, but I just think the schedule is laid out. The Chiefs have had this brutal schedule, and they have a brutal schedule moving forward. But you've seen this before where they get serious. For example, what was the game when they played Detroit on October 12th, Week 6? Like, they were in a bad spot. If they lost that game, they're coming off a brutal loss to the Jags. They were in a bad spot, and they just turned it on. And they were tight from the second the game started. They got Rashee Rice back, so they're a completely different team on offense. Like, they're just a different team than earlier in the season. Now they get Josh Simmons back on the offensive line. There's a reason that they started off slow, and I think there's a lot of reasons that they'll pick it up. And that's what we do. That's why the odds say the Chiefs are the Super Bowl favorite. I mean, the odds don't lie in this case.
Okay, so if you look at, we're talking obviously about last night's game. Patriots get the score is going to look like easy victory, and it never felt like the Patriots were in any danger of losing this game. But it was a one-score game heading into the fourth quarter. Justin Fields did fumble on the 8-yard line. Like, there were some other things that helped the Patriots, and if the Jets were even competent, maybe they could have stayed in this game and actually pulled out an upset. But the Jets are not competent, and they showed that last night in a variety of embarrassing ways. Right now, Chiefs have an 80% chance to make the playoffs, okay? So obviously great. Say you lose at Denver, goes down a little bit, 67%. Let's say the Colts do somehow pull off an upset. Now we're down under 50%, right around 50%, with still 6 games to go, including the Broncos again.
Well, what if they lose out? Then I think their odds really dip to nothing. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, if they lose these games, they're not going to be in the play. Yeah, they have to step up and be one of these teams. I'm just saying how
tenuous it is. Like, they have not. Last year, the Chiefs were a 15-2 team, right? A 15-2 franchise. They had all the margin for error, even though they were winning these games, like really tight games. They ran away with it again. This is a unique position here for the Chiefs. This is all I'm saying. I'm not saying they can't rise to the occasion. They're not battle tested. Same for the Bills, same for the Ravens. But I think we're all acting like they're just going to, turn it on. And they still have a lot of games and a lot of potential stumbles here. The Texans have a top defense. The Chargers, who knows, already beat them once. Again, you have to play the Broncos. You do have to play the Cowboys. I don't know if they're going to put up much resistance. I'm just saying. What? This could be a year where the AFC kind of flips because Patriots and Colts, and then I think when it gets to the playoffs, I don't know how those two teams are going to actually fare. But the old guard of the AFC has a lot of work to do. That's what I'm getting at.
I hear you. I kind of feel better about the Chiefs now than I did at this point last year because there was something off last year. This year it feels like it's setting up really well. First of all, Rice being back is obviously transformative. Once the Chiefs do this thing with their offensive line, where Andy the coach, just messes with it. I feel like it's all going to come together. I would bet on them, but the odds are not good. So I really like where the Chiefs are.
Manny, can you throw a poll up, please? Good morning.
Hey, how you guys doing?
And a buen dia.
Buenos dias.
How about, is there a question between the Patriots and the Colts? Who's more for real? Colts, Pats, neither.
All right.
And
I think you should word it. Who do you have more faith in? Colts, Patriots, or Chiefs, Bills?
No.
Oh, because everyone has more faith.
Yes. Well, you just can't put that on a poll. People are
I thought
going to
that's
go
what
with
you're
brand
kind of
identity.
saying.
No, I think between the top two teams in the AFC, Colts and Patriots, that's who are the top two teams right now by record.
So put a neither in. Because
neither, yeah.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to? Do you think either has a chance to win the Super Bowl? Like, I don't think many people have faith in the Patriots or the Colts to win the Super Bowl. Do you think anybody does?
They're basically getting a 4-hour love letter last night on TV.
You can go ahead and vote now on @Maggie and Pearl on Twitter.
There you go.
I know. I don't think anyone thinks.
Okay. We'll see.
I'll bet breakfast on this poll.
Oh,
too late. I'm already buying it.
Yes, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
You want to know why? Because Ryan Hickey won our Survivor pool. And I don't even think he really had much trouble.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That seemed like a pretty easy victory for him.
Kind of waltz. I mean, everybody was basically gone after week 5, so it was just basically Bogusch and Hickey for the past 4 weeks exchanging emails.
Perloff tried to sneak using the Lions twice.
Yeah,
I tried to sneak. I was barely half paying attention. I had no idea.
That's the other issue as to why Hickey just waltzed to a victory here to your, hurting your back pocket, Mags.
Well, this is the whole thing. You try to do the honor system. You think everyone can keep track of their picks.
We didn't really jump Perloff enough for doing that, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, trying to cheat.
Here's the problem. You're doing a Survivor pool with no money.
Well, breakfast was online, but it's my money today paying for Hickey.
Didn't really have the same vibe. I think I've told you guys, I have a buddy who's in like a $400,000. I shouldn't say this because it's probably not legal. A $400,000 Survivor pool, and those picks, that's intense. That's
I can
because
imagine.
everybody uses algorithms. Like this is like supercomputers.
How's he doing, by the way? Is he out? You
oh
guys?
no,
You're still in?
I'm not in it. I didn't invest in it. This
Oh,
year.
right. You said
yeah, it's too much. It
no
was,
thanks.
It's those guys like they'll go to week 16 still alive. Everybody now, most casual survivor pools. I think most people are coming to the end right now. A lot of people got screwed like Bogues did with Green Bay losing to Carolina. That was a crushing survivor pool game.
Didn't even make it that far.
I mean, this is a tough week. If you look around, there's a lot. This is obviously, I think, the best week of the year so far in the NFL.
No doubt.
This is a lot of tough games. I'm sure if Hickey was still alive, he would probably go down this week. We should make a pick.
There you go. Okay, so were we watching a Super Bowl contender last night?
If Hickey were still alive.
He'll be here later.
Well, he already won, right?
Yeah, he did.
No,
If the survivor, I should have said if the survivor pool is still alive.
Yeah.
Out of context, that was funny.
No,
that funny.
We think he's going to make it. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right, lots to do today, including, we got some news out of San Francisco yesterday, so that's exciting. You mentioned this big survivor pool, $400,000, maybe not street legal. Got another gambling scandal that broke yesterday, this time involving college kids.
Oh, shocker.
That's always healthy. That's when, society's in a healthy place. 14 people got busted, including some college wrestlers.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And mob ties.
I'm not going to lie. You're breaking the story to me. This is awful.
Lucchese crime family, which I don't think was indicted in the Chauncey Billups one, were they?
But they got
I'm out on the
four
current
or
mobs.
five families in the Chauncey Billups. I don't know if they were the fifth.
I think this was the fifth. They were actually doing their own thing.
Again, I didn't know mobs were still around, so.
They are. And
Yeah,
they would not
evidently.
like you thinking that. I'd watch yourself.
Well, you know what? All right.
888-710-4ISN.
Maybe this way I don't have to watch the Jets anymore for work.
Fair. Brutal. 888-710-4476. And also their head coach looks like a kind of an idiot today.
An ass?
We'll get into that. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
All right, Maggie, you know what
Go
my
ahead.
favorite part about Prize Picks is? That sometimes if you're wrong, like I was last night with DeAndre Hunter, you get right back on and I get to make picks tonight. I'm so excited. I love Prize Picks. It's the best way to enjoy sports. Here's how it works. You just pick two or more players across any sport. You pick more or less on their projections. And if you're right, you could win big. You can keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It is Friday in the fall, which means there is tons of choices tonight. NBA, NHL, soccer. It's going to be a blast.
Did you know that Oregon plays tonight? The Oregon Ducks taking the field tonight against Minnesota.
Another
right now
brutal Big Ten matchup.
on Prize Picks. Well, not for these purposes. Dante Moore, more than 200.5 passing yards. So more than right there. And I'm going to go quarterback for quarterback. How about Louisville? Also playing the Clemson Tigers tonight, guys. We've got big-time college football. It's going to be great. Give me Miller Moss. I'll go less than 245.5 passing yards. So more than for Dante Moore, less than for Miller Moss. And that's your Friday night. Prize Picks. It's awesome. It's available in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. We're obsessed. Come along and play with us on Prize Picks. It is a good time. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code M&P. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code M&P on Prize Picks. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie and Perloff Show. We're debating, what does the Patriots' 9-2 record mean? Are they actual Super Bowl contenders? Very easy schedule. You know, one thing we didn't really get into, I think the MVP race is going to be divorced from the strength of schedule conversation, because at the end of the day, they're going to have 13 or 14 wins, and Drake May's numbers are going to be insane. So I probably myself would not bet on the Patriots for a Super Bowl future, but I'm not allowed in New York to bet on an MVP future. I think that's really, really in play. I think he is going to be a surprise, strong MVP candidate. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of good candidates. You had Matthew Stafford last week. Sam Darnold, if he beats Matthew Stafford this week, you got Mahomes has good numbers. He could go on a run.
If you really want to zag and give it, I mean, he has been most valuable probably for that team. But again, that's a strength of schedule thing, because the Colts schedule so far has not been crazy.
He's actually not even on pace for 2K, for 2,000 yards.
Is that right?
I think he's at 1974 or something. I'll double check that. So Barkley made 2,000 yards last year and didn't even get it. That's why Adrian Peterson was given in 2012. I wonder if they wisely rest Jonathan Taylor a little bit at the end of the season and his numbers come down just a scunch. And they never gave it to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey had all those yards too. So I personally think it's a long shot for Jonathan Taylor. But right now,
he already has 15 touchdowns on the year, though. I know the yardage, but like that's a lot of touchdowns. To only be in week 11.
Yeah, is that really going to make a difference? So
I don't know. I mean,
I like May, by the way. I would bet on him. 20 touchdowns, 5 picks, and he's getting better and better and better. He's going to end up with 35 touchdowns, 8 picks like Aaron Rodgers numbers, and they're probably going to have 14 wins. I think the Colts come back down to earth a little bit. Okay. They have a tough schedule.
So there's also a part of this where I think I think Matthew Stafford is going to end up getting it in a way that it's kind of more about the story. If the Rams keep going this way, it's kind of the only thing missing from a Stafford resume. And Stafford, to me, is going to have, I was thinking about this the other day, a little bit like Kobe, where when Kobe was playing, I don't think people thought of Kobe Bryant as like a top 5 player of all time, but almost as after his career and then obviously after his unfortunate death, people now have him like, you could get into a conversation with a sports fan, especially one in LA, but a sports fan who thinks Kobe Bryant's like the second best player of all time.
Well, of course.
And, I think that Stafford, it's almost like he's going to age well, I think, as far as his legacy is concerned. And it feels like the MVP is the only thing missing.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. He's right now. So Drake May is the favorite, and then Matthew Stafford is second, and Jonathan Taylor's third. So we kind of nailed it.
Because also Stafford is playing in 2 amazing quarterback eras, right? He was on the Lions on a bad team where Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, obviously Tom Brady, Drew Brees, like you had Peyton Manning, they even overlapped. Like you had all these incredible quarterbacks, and now you have a second, to me, golden era of quarterbacks with Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's another team, though. I don't trust the Rams. I'm not sure how good that team is because they've beaten a lot of terrible, terrible teams, too. Now, they looked really impressive against the Niners last week, but we don't know if the Niners are good. They have like a win over Baltimore with Snoop Huntley or Cooper Rush. They have a win over Saints, a win over the Jags. They're a team that is very funny. The Rams, once in a while, the Rams decide not to show up in the regular season. We've seen it many times. So I think the winner of this weekend's game, Seattle and LA, whoever wins that game is narrative-wise going to be. I think Darnold will jump right over Stafford in odds if he wins that game, right?
Meanwhile, speaking of that NFC West, Brock Purdy officially back, Pearl, addressed in the media yesterday. He, is just going to have to play through this turf toe. There's no healing. And he said surgery was never on the table, and he's not even sure he's going to get surgery in the offseason. But anyway, he's going to be back just in time for them to play Arizona.
Yeah, to me, I said it earlier in the week. It's a Spider-Man meme. Makes zero. I don't think he moves the spread 1 inch compared to Mac Jones. Not even a half a point. Maybe a half a point down, if anything. What's the difference? What are we doing here? Because he can't be mobile. They say his superpower is he's more mobile than Mac Jones, but he's not going to be more mobile with turf toe. And I'll be honest, when Brock Purdy started running around a lot after actually it was 2 years ago, I like him more in the pocket. I don't think when he runs around for 5 minutes, that's what San Francisco wants.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to be running around. I think guys couldn't get open.
But people keep pointing to the fact that he's more mobile than Mac Jones. I don't think that's what Kyle Shanahan wants. So I think they're about the same quarterback.
Ricky Pearsall also going to be back on the field. So you got that going for you if you're a 49er fan. Let's get to Andrew Bogish, who's got the latest headlines. Good morning, Bo.
Guys, good morning. Your headlines are sponsored by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action even better with Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks, use code PRIMETIME, and get $50 bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Some not impressed, but the Patriots haven't lost since September 21st. Think about the amount of things that have changed since then. We didn't know Doug Christie's middle name. Sidney Sweeney had 1 less box office flop. Jalen Brunson had 2 working ankles.
Yeah, and you had a middle finger, buddy.
That's true as well. New England improving to 9-2 with last night's 27-14 pseudo blowout of the Jets in Foxborough. Drake May staying in that MVP combo with 281 yards and a passing score.
When you put the work in and you got good players and good coaches, you're going to get a result that you want. And obviously there's been some results this season that, some losses, and you build from that and learn from it and try to learn out every week. And, I think we're going to enjoy the weekend and get ready for, next one on Sunday.
May's best work last night might have been handing off to Travion Henderson. He scored twice. The better team won, says Aaron Glenn.
When it comes to this game, give those guys a lot of credit. That is a well-coached team that has a quarterback that's playing really, really well, which we all knew. Defensively, they did a really good job.
Yeah, they held the Jets to just 245 yards of offense. Justin Fields was their leading rusher, which is not the plan. Gangrene's best drive was its very first one of the game, which ended in a touchdown. Before losing, those Jets placed Garrett Wilson on IR with his knee injury. Not sure yet if Glenn has apologized to reporter Rich Cimini, whom Glenn mocked this week for his story that Wilson would miss 3 to 4 weeks, and now he's missing 4 weeks.
Hashtag Cimini knew.
No, and also, like, Aaron Glenn obviously also knew.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, why go out of your way to mock a reporter for doing their job? Like, you're clearly the job's getting to you.
He must be compensating for something.
Well, the other part, too, is like you took the job as the head coach of the Jets. What did you think you were walking into? Like, you played for them. You know what this is about. Did you think you were walking into.
This isn't Billings, Montana, man. Come on.
Well, not just that. I'm talking about, like, good players. What kind of roster did you think you had?
Probably a little bit better than this, or like confidence in himself to be better than this, but I just don't like the.
He had 2 guys that were worth first-round picks. Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams.
Yeah, who the fan base couldn't wait to get out of town and call overrated.
I mean, I guess the NFL viewed his roster very favorably.
Yeah, and the Cimini thing bothered me more than his stupid, like, secret quarterback battle because, like, coaches and teams trick themselves into thinking that they're gaining some kind of competitive advantage by doing that. The reporter thing, like criticizing a report that he, as you said, he knew was true.
Yeah.
It's just such a lame move, whether it's on purpose to like distract from the crappy football team or he thinks that reporters shouldn't be finding out secret knowledge about the Jets. I mean, it's just, he looks terrible.
How about you find the rat that's in the building? How about you turn your negative attention to that, you moron?
I don't think it was in the building. I think it was probably Garrett Wilson's
Yeah.
agent. I mean, like that. Listen, but there are plenty of leaks at the Jets. Like they're kind of known for that. They're kind of famous for it. You wonder how these Rich Cimini stays in business covering a 2-win team every year. And you always say, Pearl, there's every year you can, like clockwork, there's like an expose on the Jets written by The Athletic. They've got like 5,000 words ready to go the moment the season ends. Like, hey, last year the sons of the owner were evaluating the roster by playing Madden. Right. You know, remember that one?
Yeah. Time now for Tales from the Infinity Sports Network newsroom. Our story begins with Aaron Judge winning his 3rd AL MVP award last night. Now, one of the clips from his acceptance speech in our system is labeled, quote, on the support from his daughter.
No matter what, when I come home, if it's a 4-for-4 night and, you know, you win the game, or if it's 0-for-4 and, you know, you lose the game for your team, you know, she's always smiling and happy to see me. It's been incredible to see her, you know, grow these 9 months, and you know, looking forward to, you know, having her more games out of Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, the key here, baby. She's a baby. She's 9 months old. She's not supporting her dad's efforts for wins and home runs. She's just being a baby.
Yeah, well, this is how sort of selfish you kind of have to be when you're a professional athlete. You have to think everyone is there just as your support staff.
No, I don't think this...
Even the baby, Bogish.
Yeah, no, I think this...
Get a Gatorade for him or something. Sheesh, 9 months old, you're basically cruising and you're definitely crawling.
You can point your fingers at Judge.
All she's doing is pooping on herself.
Yeah, I'm pointing at one of Nico's friends who's out there not realizing that Judge's kid is a baby and therefore can't support her dad in any way.
Listen, get it, make a protein shake. Sheesh. What do you think? You're 9 months old? You can't work the blender?
Yeah, you know what? Gus and Penny, his dog, should also get some love, too. Really supported him.
Cal Raleigh got screwed, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
Well...
No, not well. Judge had really great numbers.
Take a look at those WAR numbers. Take a look at that batting average.
Judge with that WAR did get MVP. Oh my God!
Well, let's look at who had the tougher assignment this year.
But this is Aaron Judge's best season.
Okay, well, Cal Raleigh as a catcher, a switch hitting catcher, hit 60 home runs. His team. When's the last time the Mariners won the division? He's got nothing, Julio Rodriguez, and this is finally they have a good team.
Who's Judge got?
Yeah, who's Aaron Judge have?
You have a Yankees. Get out of here.
Okay, go ahead and name them.
Name
Trent
Grisham.
Trent Grisham. Go ahead.
Trent Grisham,
ahead,
who they put the
them.
qualifying offer on, which is
Cody Bellinger.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cam Schlittler.
Oh, yeah, the guy who we didn't know who he was in May, or at least you guys didn't know, because I'm the Yankee fan.
But how about this? You have unlimited funds. That's your problem. That's your fault.
What's that yielded the Yankees, Max?
Max Fried.
What has that?
Max free, $200+ million that you can just sign because Garrett Cole's hurt.
Okay, but what does that have? What does that have to
Manny,
do?
you were in the World Series last year.
I mean, I think
I
Cal
don't
Raleigh
understand
had
the argument, though.
probably more guys around him than Judge did this
Okay,
year.
besides Julio Rodriguez and Eugenio Suarez, who
Well,
they
that's
traded
a guy.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got him in
Brian
August.
Wu?
By the way,
George Kirby?
one of the toughest pitching staffs to catch also.
Also one of the best pitching staffs in baseball.
Who's responsible for that? Maybe Cal Raleigh's calling these amazing games.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He can't afford to even take a moment off. Meanwhile, Judge can hang out there in right field all afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Or my
baby.
toe hurts. Somebody sit out for 6 weeks. Oh, ouch, ow, my elbow.
How's that middle finger of yours doing?
Want me to show it to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Do it. Show me something.
Shohei Ohtani, by the way, won his 4th MVP award last night, the unanimous choice.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
The support from Decoy, his dog as well.
Well, we
And
know that
he has a baby too.
eBay can't support.
There it is.
Not financially.
Women's top 25 action last night. Number 3, UCLA took care of number 11, North Carolina, 78-60 in Vegas. Lauren Betts led the Bruins, 20 points, 10 boards, 7 assists.
That Mookie's sister?
It is not. And on ice, the Avalanche stayed hot. 5th straight win, 9-game point streak, a 6-3 home victory over the Sabres.
That's like beating the Jets.
Maggie, back to you.
Okay, coming up, massive game for Arch Manning this weekend. We get to college. We got a couple really fun ones on the college slate, but specifically for Arch, a major, major moment ahead of tomorrow's game. Do that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Kind of feels like a while since we've watched Arch Manning in Texas play. They're coming off a bye, but they over their bye week, they actually moved up in the polls 3 spots because of other things that happen in college football. And so now they are the 10th ranked team in the country. Big game this weekend against Georgia. And, to be fair to Arch, he has played better. Like it was rough at the beginning of the year. It really was, for a variety of reasons, whether it was, him being off, the offensive line not being able to block, his receivers, the run game, lots of issues. And still Texas has been able to remain afloat, right? Because they are a good overall team. A win over Georgia, and I can tell you what's going to happen, what I think is going to happen. Say Arch plays well and Texas beats Georgia.
Yeah.
I think we get all those same things that we talked about at the beginning of the year with Arch Manning come flooding back in. Heisman watch. Now, again, like no one else has really run away with the Heisman, right? There is not a slam dunk person. And now we're into deep into November, mid-November. Heisman hype back on. National championship hype back on. All the things that we talked about before the season even started, I think comes back into the fold for Arch Manning if they beat Georgia.
Wow, which is kind of sad because, for example, The Athletic wrote a huge column, our buddy did, that Arch Manning is college football's first bust.
The
overhype on, and listen, you have to admit, I was like Jon Snow fighting the White Walkers all alone because anybody who watched Texas could see the offensive line was crumbling and the defense took a long time to get going. Now, Texas's obvious superpower is their defense.
Sure.
It's not even close. Like Arch Manning is probably the 4th most important thing on that team. They're incredible at stopping the run, which is why they have a real shot against Georgia. But I'm a little nervous. Because I don't think that an offensive line can turn around that dramatically in one season. They are young, they are inexperienced, and it's not just, they still have had the bad penalties throughout. I'm not as confident in the pieces around Arch Manning as I think everybody else is. So first of all, I don't think that's all happening. But B, you're probably right. But it kind of annoys me that, and I know you're not like this, but generally people made it all about Arch when it obviously wasn't all about Arch. Like, why did people do that? I know his name is Manning. It just seems so obvious that the team around him was imploding, that Ryan Wingo had no idea what he was doing the first half of the season, that the O-line was terrible. The defense was making mistakes left to right early in the season. It's a young team. They lost all their players from last year to the NFL. Why did people not see that this was a team thing and not an Arch Manning thing?
Well, because I think that you maybe could have been accused of going so far the other way and caping for Arch, ignoring that he actually was making mistakes. Yeah, it's a team game.
Absolutely.
But it was either too much criticism for Arch or too much trying to bend yourself into pretzel to try to say that he was playing great when he wasn't playing great. And so, like, both things can be true at the same time, right? Like, it may have not have all been his fault, but he was definitely part of the problem. I mean, and I feel fine saying that. I'd say that if Arch was sitting right here, that it's okay to say both. What I'm talking about is now you get a top 5 team, okay? You're on the road in a place where Georgia rarely loses. And if somehow Texas can pull off this upset, I even think they could lose to Texas A&M in the final game of the season. And it's possible the committee could try to get Texas into the college football playoff.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like crazy. We could have a 3-loss team getting into the college football playoff, I think, which would make people very mad. And they would also say, all right, well, this is feels like nepotism, or the brand of Texas combined with the brand of the Mannings is enough to put this over the finish line.
Right, but if they do beat Georgia, that would be 3 wins over top 10 teams. Which will be by far, at the time, we're top 10 teams. That would be by far the most. I don't think anybody will even, does anybody else can have 2?
So it would have been, obviously, Oklahoma, but John Mateer was definitely compromised in that game. And then Vanderbilt, who was 9th at the time, and then Georgia.
Georgia's 5th.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's going to be able to, and their loss, one of the losses came early. They're going to say the Ohio State loss in week 1 doesn't count. And that was actually a really close game. Texas probably could have won that game in the fourth quarter. So there's definitely going to be a case. Here's the thing. You look at the standings now, there's a lot of 2-loss teams. There's going to be a lot of ranked teams lose in the last month of the season. Always happens.
Yep.
We're not going to see it coming. I think the 3-loss Texas case is going to be really good. You're right. You will get those nepotism charges, but I wouldn't rule that out by any means. I still think we're still debating this. I think it's a misunderstanding of where Arch was earlier in the season. You cannot complete a pass when you are getting demolished and you're halfway on your back. There's no way that offense could get him rhythm. He had no time to throw at all. Now he's better. I am very worried that it's going to go back to the old way. And so Arch is, and you're right, Arch
what do you
is
mean
definitely
back to the old way?
Back to the old way where he's going to be under pressure against Georgia and the offense is going to look bad. And also the run game was not just bad early in the season, it was awful. Worse in the country bad. Averaging 2.7 yards per carry in college football. Do you know how bad that is? In a Steve Sarkisian offense? So I'm very curious, will the run game and the O-line hold up? And once he gets under pressure, I'll admit, Arch has not been great. You know, he tries to run around and make plays. That's not working. So I'm kind of, as an Arch stan, I'm a little nervous about this one, to be honest, because everyone's hyping him up right now. Like they've got it all solved just because he led a comeback against Mississippi State. There's a lot going on
the
here.
Vanderbilt win.
The Vanderbilt win was good too, but I don't know how good Vanderbilt is. I mean, they were a top 10 team at the time. Vanderbilt obviously has a lot of work to do to even make the playoff now.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. What's at stake for Texas and Arch Manning this weekend against Georgia? Meanwhile, Georgia, like this would be crazy, right? Say if Georgia drops this game, but like they have wins over Tennessee. Obviously, they lost at Bama, but then that win over Ole Miss, like there's no way. Like Georgia gets no love. It's almost like it's like death taxes. Like we're not even impressed by anything that Georgia does anymore. You know, they have this hard schedule every year. It feels like they play everybody all the time. And meanwhile, it's like no love, no Heisman buzz, no nothing.
I saw an interview with Gunnar Stockton on ESPN. I think that's part of the reason why. He looks like a 26-year-old accountant who's going to help you file your estimated taxes.
And Fernando Mendoza doesn't? Fernando Mendoza sounds like the branch manager.
Well, Fernando Mendoza is at least a young, good-looking dude. Gunnar Stockton looks middle-aged, just like Stetson Bennett did. They have these lo-fi quarterbacks. I mean, Carson Beck was a whole different thing.
Sure.
But I think and also, too, they're Georgia. You're right. They don't get appreciated. They don't really get Heisman buzz or anything like that. They have weapons, but you're really not sure on a week-to-week basis. They're kind of an odd team right now. You know who I have a lot of faith in, though, is Coach Kirby Smart. I think in a close game, I trust Kirby Smart. I know he doesn't win all of them. They pulled
some of these games out of there. You know what?
Yeah,
the Tennessee game.
I feel like Kirby is obviously a very good coach, and he's kind of
and the Florida game.
He's kind of low sizzle too. Like Kirby doesn't give you much to work off of.
Well, on the sidelines, he's not. But yes, he's
like
not Lane Kiffin.
There's no controversy with Kirby Smart. We never come in on a Monday and debate Kirby Smart's character. Right. He's not Lane Kiffin. He's not really Saban either. Saban was unique. Kirby Smart, what is he? He's kind of like a Nick Saban light. So anyway, I think that's why we don't pay attention to Georgia. And nobody's talking about Georgia this week. It's all about can Arch win.
I know. Again, it's like Georgia's like, what do we have to do to get a little respect around here? We are Georgia after all. Meanwhile, Big Friendly on the horn, calling in from California. You got a big game for your Rams this weekend, Friendly. How are you?
I'm all right, Your Highness. How are you doing this morning?
I'm always gravy.
Well, I would hope so because, it took me time to call because after what happened to the Bills, I kind of
You let me
stayed
simmer
away.
down a little. Listen,
Yes, ma'am.
Friendly, this happens, I tried to tell them that they had to shore up the run defense before the season started, but nobody listened to me.
Very true. But now, Maggie Malone, we got Yosemite Sam Donald bringing the Sea Chickens into L.A.
Yep.
Now, we all know he's not the rootinest, tootinest, throwingest quarterback, but that Seattle defense is real, and they need to be respected and talked about more. So I have faith in my Rams, but I think it's going to be one of those, it's always the same, who turns the ball over less and who scores last is probably going to win this game. It's not going to be – I don't see it being a blowout on any side.
I'll agree with you. Friendly, Can I get some love, though, for my prediction on Matthew Stafford winning MVP?
Yeah. Hey, here's the thing about that. I understand what Drake May's doing, and he's been doing amazing, but they're kind of like talking like what Matthew Stafford is doing has been done before, and it hasn't. And I understand Drake May's balling, but he may be a Thelma and Louise and may drive you off the cliff at the end if we don't pay attention. So I think Matthew Stafford, if he stays healthy, which he's been, and the Rams keep rolling, I don't see why he shouldn't be an MVP.
Friendly,
but
I forgot to ask you, did you go to the Dodgers parade?
no, I'm in Northern California, but I watched it, and I watched it, and Maggie Malone, for you, I had a few shots of J-Mo to enjoy it.
Glad to know, Friendly. Have yourself an excellent weekend. Every time we put up Big Friendly's just in California, and I know he's a big Rams and Dodger fan, so I always assumed he was in L.A.
Me too. Can I complain about the poll that Manny put up?
Sure.
The question is, who do you have more faith in? The Colts, the Patriots, or neither? And the Patriots are winning. How would you have faith? I think that the wording is confusing people.
I posted verbatim what you told me.
Who do you have more faith in? Can you have faith in neither? I don't understand because it's a comparison question. As an English major, I'm definitely, but there's no way that 61% have more faith in the Patriots than neither.
Perloff, I verbatim you said I think the better wording is this, and I verbatim typed
Well, you
that
shouldn't
out.
have listened to me because this makes
You
no
just
sense.
said you're the English
Well, how
guy.
can the Patriots be at 61%?
English is my second language.
I wanted to say, who do you have more faith in, the Patriots or the Chiefs? But Maggie wouldn't let me.
No, I would not let you do that. You can put that on your own social media, not on that.
I'm not going to put that on because nobody's going to answer the Patriots.
You put up rogue polls all the time on your Twitter anyway, so go ahead, man.
I just think people are confused by this wording because they can't possibly think the Patriots have more chance than neither. Neither's
not
a
Manny's
contender.
fault.
Yeah, no, you know, it's all my fault. I'm a hack. I'm a loser. It's a miracle. It's like the chat says, it's a miracle I've gone 28 years, without
like an anvil falling on your head?
Exactly, and without a piano falling from the sky.
Wow. This
Let's
is
keep
a
that streak
tiny
up.
little criticism, dude.
It's a drip, 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 Pearl. All of a sudden the bathtub's full. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. All right, coming up next, we do have a big question about the most important game of the weekend.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Snap to May. Looks to his left. He pumps. He throws. Pulls it in the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots. And who caught it? Trevion Henderson. A hat trick for the rookie.
Welcome back. That's Drake May, Patriots Radio Network. Patriots with a 27-14 win over the lowly Jets, Pearl. Good morning. And, listen, this was a lot tighter game than it probably needed to be, even though the Patriots controlled it after, the Jets' first drive. This was a one-score game going into the fourth quarter. If you had this at, Patriots minus 13.5, Jets covered. Like, it was a little bit harder, I think, than it was a little harder for the Patriots to put real distance between themselves and the Jets. I don't think it's indicative of like any issues or problems. I just think it's a little bit of, okay, let's pump the brakes on the Patriots. Even though they have the best record in the NFL right now, they have played absolutely no one. And some points, they've had to work a lot harder for some of these wins than you would think that a team with a dominant record has to work.
Yeah, I didn't feel exactly the same way last night because it was such a comfortable win.
Yeah.
It's funny to me because a lot of people got the Patriots at minus 12.5.
That's what it closed at.
Yeah. But I think I actually on Thursday I saw it at minus 12.5. Then it went up. So basically Vegas predicted it exactly where it was going to be. And
they always know.
Yeah, they always knew. I don't know. The Jets running quarterback can do that once in a while. Justin Fields had 67 yards. I don't know what happened the first drive. I read a stat that the Patriots always let up a first drive score. So
8 games out of the 11 that they have let up a first drive touchdown to the opponent.
So I have no worries about the Patriots because I think that they're actually a much better team now than they were. I think Drake May's a little better, and I think Travion Henderson should have probably been playing from week one. Ramondre Stevenson really held them back early in the season, believe it or not, a fumbling machine.
Yep.
Travion Henderson, how he went below Quinshon Judkins, to me was very mysterious because I thought he was a home run hitter at Ohio State last year. He looks great. So that makes him a much different team now that they have although it wasn't consistent all night, their running game. I think now that they have a weapon other than Drake May, and Diggs is playing fantastic.
Yep.
I think they're actually a better team now than they were early in the season. Despite, last night, the Jets hanging around, that didn't bother me. I still feel better about the Patriots than I did about a month ago.
Yeah, to me, it's hard to know who this team really is. Because, Stephon Diggs has another game where he's over 100 yards receiving. He was wide open. I mean, you can't get that more open because the Jets secondary, first of all, traded away their best player the other week, and they're terrible. I mean, Brandon Stevens, whatever, EJ complains about him all the time. He actually had one good pass breakup on Mac Hollins for a big gain, but besides that, he is terrible. The Jets are awful. So to me, I can't really take a lot away from this one. And then you start looking a little deeper into these Patriots' 9 wins, and there is not a top 10 defense on this schedule. They have not even barely played a top 10 offense except for Buffalo. And fair, they went to Buffalo and won. They won by 3 points. They were... Yes.
Tampa Bay's on a top 10 offense?
No, not right now. They're not. Because the last 3 weeks, their stats have really fallen off because Baker Mayfield has been dealing with that oblique injury. So, and also all their wide receivers are hurt and their running back is hurt. So it's taken them out just a little bit. And that was actually a pretty close win. Atlanta, they were, should have been tied, at least going to overtime with the Falcons. Falcons missed a stupid extra point after a touchdown. You just look a little closer. They've played Tennessee, Carolina, New Orleans Saints.
You don't have to look a little closer.
It's right there on the surface.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that narrative about the Patriots. By the way, the Bills have the same reason. Why aren't they storming past all these teams? They lost to Atlanta.
No, I know. Don't remind me. At least that was on the road. The Patriots were able to beat Atlanta at home by a point. I don't know. I mean, maybe Atlanta's not the barometer, even though they actually do have they have the 11th ranked defense by overall metrics here. I know they have the number 1 passing defense. But
isn't it kind of funny, though, that the Patriots, all that's true, but they still have a bunch of easy games. They're going to end up with 13 wins.
And probably the number 1 seed
Maybe
and home
14.
field advantage. My question is, can they actually win a playoff game, though? Because let's say you are the number 1 seed. Maybe you get the bye. Maybe they're the 2 seed and the Colts are the 1 seed. Who knows how this is going to shake out?
It's not. I know where you're going.
What?
KC will be the team.
I was going to say KC.
Yeah.
What if it ends up being the Bills? Now you have to play them for a third time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Bill. It looks like the most likely teams at 6 and 7 are KC and Buffalo. That's not fair. Well, and Buffalo doesn't even care about the cold weather in New England. And KC actually has cold, so they need to get the Colts into coming to New England. They need to get, who's another warm weather team? They need the Chargers to come to New England. They don't need KC and Buffalo to come to New England. So that's a great point. They definitely won't be favored in a playoff game. Let's put it that way.
Well, so here's the other part of this. We've been talking about this old guard in the AFC, right? Bills is the Chiefs, Ravens, and then the new teams, Colts, Patriots. We've forgotten about the Denver Broncos.
What do you mean?
Who are right there also at the top of the AFC and who are playing the Chiefs this weekend. And if they beat Kansas City, I think they're winning the AFC West. Yeah. Seriously.
I know. But this is the same Broncos team. I feel like nobody's in on them. They need a miracle comeback to beat the Giants. I mean,
well, they've needed miracle comebacks. Somehow, Bo Nix is in a coma for the first 3 quarters of a game, but in that fourth quarter, he's amazing.
Right, but obviously I think people have no faith in the Broncos. They're 3.5-point underdogs at home.
Well, they get the Chiefs twice still. So let's say they do find a way to beat the Chiefs. So, I don't know.
I feel like their offense is imploding in real time. There are reports of drama where the defense is like, "Hey guys, you got to show up and help us a little bit." I feel like Denver is in most a lot of bettors at least see them trending down. Same with I think the culture trending down too. I think they're going to run into a really hard time the rest of the season. I think there's a sea change where the Chiefs are going to come up, the Broncos and Colts are going to normalize.
Well, to be honest, you got to think about the Chargers also, who have already won a game against the Chiefs, and they continue to win. They beat the Steelers.
They might win the division too.
So here's the rest of the Denver Broncos schedule. There are W's, a lot of them on this schedule if things hold. So they have to play the Chiefs twice. That's going to be tough. They have to play the Packers, but they get them in Mile High. You have Commanders, Raiders, Jags. There are wins here. And so I think we have to start maybe including, and by the way, Denver made the playoffs last year, went to Buffalo, lost, but that was a 1-score game at halftime. And now you have that whole entire team with a lot more experience, some playoff experience, and their defense is legit, and that's what travels. So
yeah, but when you
if
look
they
at
even
them,
have to travel, they might get home games.
Yeah, I look at them, and right now they do not feel dangerous at that level. I mean, we're talking Super Bowl. Maybe I'm blind to the records. I don't even put the Broncos in the conversation right now. Do you really see the way Bo Nix is playing? And I like Bo Nix, but he's not playing like a Super Bowl winning quarterback right now. Maybe the last 5-minute heroics, if he could do that for 55 minutes before, maybe I'm dead wrong, and you could call us, but I don't put the Denver Broncos in the mix at all right now.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Kind of asking about, what are you feeling better about right now? Is it the quote-unquote new guard in the AFC? So we're talking about the Patriots, talking about the Colts, we're talking about the Denver Broncos, these sort of up-and-coming teams, or do you still have your faith in the older guys, the older, more tested teams, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens? Meanwhile, the Chiefs are the only ones who actually won anything out of that group. And then throw Joe Burrow coming back into the mix. I don't know if that matters.
A lot more playoff experience.
And Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers as started some of the old guard.
Oh, I mean, they're not. I don't even think people think they're going to make the playoffs.
It's going to be tough if the Ravens keep playing the way they're playing.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to answer that question, I definitely have more faith in the old guard. Until Patrick Mahomes is actually disqualified from this playoff, of course I'm going to bet on him. And of course I'm going to bet on Josh Allen. And of course I'm going to bet on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson less so in the playoffs, but still, New England, Denver, Indy, great stories. I just think when we enter January, you're not going to be thinking, oh, they have a great chance here. I think New England's going to be a 4-point dog in their opening playoff game.
Wow. And Drake May's the MVP of the league, but he's going to be a home dog in the playoffs? That doesn't compute.
It's kind of like an NBA MVP where they give it to James Harden even though no one on earth thinks he's going to win the championship.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Can the Broncos end the Chiefs' reign in the AFC West is what we're asking. This ends up being just one of a few very important games going on this weekend.
Oh, yeah. But I think when you look at the AFC, the actual seeding probably doesn't matter much. If you're the 7th seed, I absolutely do not think the 1, 2, and 3 seed are going to be favored over the 4, 5, 6, 7 seed.
Yeah, but we've talked about how Denver is probably the team with the true home field advantage because of the altitude.
I would be shocked if they were favored in their opening playoff game. Because if you look at the way it's probably going to work out, New England or Indy gets a 1 seed. They're going to have to face Buffalo or KC. They're at least a field goal underdog against any of those teams. Yeah, I just think the schedule sort of made it play out this way, but the bottom of the bracket is much, much more dangerous because Baltimore is probably going to be the 4 seed. They'll have the lowest division-winning record, and nobody's going to want to see Baltimore. You pointed out all the last couple of weeks, their defense is back.
Yeah, the defense
Lamar is back. Like, why on earth would you pick Indy or Denver or even the Chargers over a team like Baltimore? I wouldn't.
Well, what if somehow the Ravens, because you always crush Lamar Jackson for not being able to play in cold weather.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get Lamar
what if you get
in
the
cold
dome?
weather.
What if they get,
I don't think he's ever played a playoff game in the dome. It seems like he's always dragged up to Buffalo. or it gets.
No, they're home, and they lost to the Chiefs at home.
I know that one is going to hurt him forever.
Yeah, probably.
But he's had 2 terrible weather games in Buffalo. The one early in his career where he had the concussion, and then last year when Mark Andrews slips right before the 2-point conversion. So, yeah, I mean, listen, we have to be, as football fans, I think you have to look forward. You can't just judge, well, the Colts are 8-2, therefore this is going to continue forever. I know they have Sauce Gardner. It'd be a great story if these Colts, these Patriots, even these Broncos could continue this. I got to be honest. Maybe I'm being too old school. I like the old guard.
So, this is just one of the most interesting games of the weekend, where you have the Chiefs and Denver. Buccaneers, Bills. Talk about some must wins, more for Buffalo than for Tampa. Bears, Vikings feels actually like pretty big. Let's see what happens with the Seahawks and the Rams, huge. Brock Purdy's back for the 49ers, which makes that game really interesting. And then Lions-Eagles Sunday night, Pearl. And that's like a little litmus test here for, can things be fixed with your Eagles and the Lions playing outside and, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 NFC matchups of the division leaders are a really big deal because I think LA, Seattle, Philadelphia, and Detroit all want home field desperately. Yep. Philly needs home field. Detroit has been a letdown at home last couple of years. Well, actually, last year against Washington. So I don't know what that means, but these are 2 huge matchups because that's another. I mean, the NFC. Good luck picking that. Do you have any strong favorite there? If you do, I feel like you're kidding yourself. I think all 4 of those teams are really close.
I want it to be the Rams. And I think if they beat Seattle, you're going to see the Rams bandwagon get really, really full because people are going to remember last year, they went to Philadelphia, but it was a snow game. Philly actually let the Rams back into the game. Matthew Stafford almost pulled off something pretty heroic. Coaching matchup. I mean, would you take McVay over Sirianni?
I'd love to see if we could have a future machine. If the Lions beat the Eagles decisively and the Rams beat the Seahawks decisively, who gets more hype, the Lions or the Rams? Because the Lions are pretty exciting.
Yeah, but the Lions are dealing with a fool me once, fool me twice kind of thing. I think people are afraid to get back in with the Lions because they were the Super Bowl favorite last year, right? One of them. And they just had so many injuries, they fell apart.
But now that Aiden Hutchinson is healthy, I don't know. I wouldn't discount them. I think the Rams and Lions are going to be part of the same conversation. Especially with Dan Campbell calling plays. But then again, if they win, because they have to win at Philly. Their game's at night at Philly. To come out of there with a win would be impressive.
Yeah, totally. 888-710-4ISN, signature win. Can I ask you a parenting question?
Yeah, sure.
Coming into a situation, my kid yesterday told me that another kid pushed him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and now I'm going to have to hunt that kid down.
You're damn right you have to.
Yeah, and basically just ruin the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a full 360 mission now.
Sounds healthy, but okay.
Yeah. No, I mean it's kindergarten, so
I agree.
These are where the lessons have to get learned. Don't mess with my kid. But so I think I did the right thing. But Pearl, you tell me what you did with your daughters. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it said good job not pushing him back because that's what I wanted to say. Just push him back, but you can't do that. You got to keep your hands to yourself.
Already messed up.
Why?
Because you don't. The 2 wrongs don't make a right.
No, absolutely 2 wrongs. Ideally, he would punch a kid in the face. Kindergarten. What, are they going to suspend him?
Like 2 days ago, I came across a video of Charles Barkley when he was on TNT, and he said, first of all, children of America, swing first.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Good point.
Bad job on me. I told my kid, I'm proud of you for not hitting him back.
No.
A little restraint.
I think the healthy thing, you want him to hit him back, right?
That's the healthy thing?
Yeah, I don't think you want to, at that age, like the kids who have success in life will hit him back.
I agree.
Now my kid is not going to be successful?
Fortune 500 kid right there if he punches him back.
Huh. All right.
Well,
I guess bad job out of me.
I mean, in reality, though, of course, you said that you want him to punch him back.
My
right?
first instinct, but I don't actually want my kid hitting other kids.
Did this kid swing first?
Yeah, he pushed my kid.
Yeah. So what? I mean, that means Lucas gets a free shot.
Okay, but it's not like an offside where all of a sudden.
Yeah, he gets a free swing.
But here's the thing, though.
Free play.
First of all, you guys always know it's the retaliator who always gets flagged.
This isn't the NFL.
It's kindergarten.
It's kind of. And I told him good job, and I said, next time, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Keep your hands to yourself.
No.
All right. I think my husband would have handled this different now that I think about it.
This is why kids get bullied from advice from their parents.
Here's the thing, though. He's 6 years old. I can't say, all right, start swinging at everybody because you want to know who's going to be swinging at next? Me.
How big is the kid?
Yeah, defend yourself.
Not sure.
By the
don't know
way, at
this
that
kid.
age too, is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Okay, because the girls are way bigger at that age. Like you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, no, I always towered over everybody.
Yeah, if
Until,
it's,
like,
if
senior
it's
year
one of
of
the
high school.
girls, just let it go.
Because of those giant feet.
Yeah, I mean, I grew into them.
But yeah, saying good job for not pushing him back, that's a nice thing to say. I don't know if that really is helpful though.
You got to tell him bob and weave. You got to put those hands up.
Yeah.
Make sure you move your head. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Get him in the gym.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, if the kid's
Take
bigger,
him to
Boxing?
Leeson's gym.
if the kid's bigger, just kick him where the sun don't shine, right?
Oh, that or the shins, like I spoke about yesterday, 2 days ago.
But
Just
here's
kick him in the
thing.
shins.
I think that I'm talking about my kid got pushed yesterday, and I told him good job for not hitting back. And,
Where
you know,
on the
this
playground at school?
Gym class.
Well,
Gym class. Okay.
Okay.
Teacher
There-
conveniently not watching.
Oh,
Of course.
well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean,
I
there's
wouldn't
probably
wanna do-
26 kids in the class.
Probably wouldn't. I wouldn't want to deal with that either.
I guess like, so do I reverse this now? Say, actually, you know what? Forget what I said yesterday. Go clobber that.
No, you've
time
already,
passed.
Yeah, you've already messed him up.
That's
You've
it?
ingrained this message into his mind. Now that's what he's going to take for the rest of his life, and now you screwed him.
Well, that might be better.
Feels-
I
feels
mean,
kind of a
let's be fair. The ideal reaction is to walk away calmly, don't say anything, and then about 15 minutes, come back later like Goodfellas style with a bat,
Yeah.
and just
Yes.
take him down with your friends and
Yes.
kick him De Niro style. So just pretend like you're going to play it cool, and then surprise him with a foreign object.
Well, I didn't tell you guys that he was actually waiting for the kid at the exit and just kicked his ass by the dumpsters.
Yeah. But you got to get the kid when he's not. You got to see it too.
Back of the mall style.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, this is how we grew up in the suburbs of New York City and in Philadelphia. So, you know.
No, I was definitely the kid getting pushed and running to my
Damn,
mom.
Pearl.
What do I
Pearl,
get?
you're 6'4". You're too big to be doing that.
I'm going to tell you, the thought did cross my mind at first to just be like, push him back.
Yeah.
Kick his butt.
I mean, you got to
did cross my
but you
mind.
got to understand, like, was this, because there were certain kids that I grew up with that you did not push back. Everyone knew
no,
that.
yeah.
They would light your
Maybe
house
this is
on
that
fire.
kid.
No, yeah.
Speaking of this one family, the bullies.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be the O'Doyles. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
could be emotionally
We had
disturbed.
a family. I won't say their name
I don't
for-
want to get involved, Yeah.
There's this one family, if they didn't like you, they would light your parents' car on fire. I'm not kidding.
No,
they
that's
were
not-
stone cold criminals.
See,
Crazy.
that's unhealthy. That
No,
part
they
is
were.
unhealthy.
No, you did not mess with that family at all, and
No,
everyone
yeah.
knew it. So at least the school was open about it, and no one tried to discipline them. The principals were afraid of
I
them.
mean, one of my elementary school bullies is in prison right now for life.
What'd he do?
Shot and killed somebody.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I hope you didn't push that kid back. So
No,
right.
I
As
do
a
not
parent,
mess
you
with
have to be
that one.
discerning.
I messed with him once when I was 6 years old, and he was very mean to me. And I was like, I'm not messing with this kid anymore. He might end up in prison. Sure enough, about 20 years later.
Wow, you really nailed that.
I really did. I
Imagine-
saw that coming from a mile away, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm sure this kid's probably going to end up in prison or worse. No, I'm just kidding.
Who, your son?
No. You're trying to raise, people
Citizens.
to do the right thing.
Law-abiding citizens
That's
is what
what
you're trying to raise.
I'm hoping for law.
But
abiding.
this is America in
There's no law
2025.
in kindergarten. It's the law of the jungle.
What
got
is
it.
this, Lord of the Flies?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you know how that
Very
book
much
ended?
so.
They roasted Piggy or
No,
whatever
Piggy's
his name
fine.
was.
Yeah, Piggy's fine.
Was that his name?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, well,
Piggy.
you don't want your son to be piggy. That's what you're training him to be.
Lord of the Flies is a wild concept if you really think about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we know.
It's.
I had to read that.
I read
Yeah.
it in like freshman year, and I'm still recovering from it.
Required reading
Yeah,
It's a fantastic book.
It's
about human nature.
I might have cliff noted it's about half of it, but yeah, no, it was a
That's all right. Nobody reads anymore.
I don't know how to read, so
Well, at least you're not
Well,
in
you
prison.
can read the Cliff Notes. Now they don't even have those. Now it's just AI figures it all out.
yeah, I know these kids, man. They didn't have it like me and you, Nico.
Yeah.
They
Uphill
don't-
in the snow,
They don't
both
really,
ways.
exactly.
Yeah.
They don't know about the grind,
Sure.
the scholastic grind.
I know. Basically, the grind for you guys was trying to, avoid cheating so much because it's just so easy. You could just cheat so easily.
With AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So my daughter is
How
in
did you guys take tests back then?
My
You go to
daughter's
a
in 8th grade, by the
library.
way. She showed me a math problem the other day. I swear to God, I had no idea. I'm like, I don't even know. Is this Greek? What is happening here? What language is this? 8th grade. She's in some kind of pre-algebra, and there was something about binomial factors.
Oh, get out
This
of
was
here.
11th grade. She's doing what I did in 11th grade. I could not believe it. So I think math has gotten better, at least in New York City, whatever. I just said, I'll Google the answer for you. That's the most I could do. And I did.
ChatGPT. It's funny because my husband is an engineer and his math has no numbers anymore. It's just all letters. I'm like,
Oh my
I'm going to go
God.
watch a
That's
hockey
not
game.
even. That's English.
Yeah.
That's it. You're right.
Going back to English.
888-710-4ISM. I think they're mostly Greek letters. 888-710-4476.
Oh, so now it's international language.
I might actually have to FaceTime your husband next time my daughter needs math help.
Oh, when my husband and I first met, and he was trying, we're not making any money or anything like that, and so he had like a side hustle, and one of his side jobs was doing SAT prep for rich 7th graders.
That's great.
Seventh grade?
He
Great
used to
job.
go to these fancy brownstone buildings or apartments where the elevator opens up and it's the whole apartment. It's like not even a hallway.
7th graders?
And he said he felt like part of the help. Because it'd just be like, he's the SAT guy, and then the tennis instructor comes, and then the nannies and the housekeepers. It was pretty crazy.
A lot of people do that. Tutoring's a great job.
I hate being poor.
Start tutoring SAT prep to fetuses.
My school my kid's school has free tutors, and my kids use both of them in math. I don't know how anyone does math without a tutor. It's gotten impossible. Thank God for AI. It's the one positive application of that damn thing.
Thank God for a calculator. Whatever, just
No.
24 divided by 6. 3. Or 4, excuse me.
Nailed it. 888-710-4ISN. All right. Well, I guess I'm a bad parent because I told my kid, good job for not hitting the bully who pushed him in gym class.
That's right.
And now I'm the
Bad mom.
bad mom.
Yep.
All right. Just blame the moms. We can handle it. All right. Coming up,
always the
somebody
woman's
got
fault.
snubbed yesterday. Not happy about it. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break.
All right. Let me see. Which read is better for the Odyssey? Okay.
Shockingly, your strength was math and reading comprehension was the problem.
I guessed on half the math.
In fact, not once but twice did you get 5 in a row incorrect in reading comprehension.
What?
No
way!
In the shock of all shocks.
No, I know I did right. They were pointing to lines.
I couldn't believe it. Let me tell you. Math with no calculator, you were actually solid. You got more than half of those correct. Math with a calculator, you crushed. You got 90% of your answers correct with the calculator.
How about that? And a hot take for you, I never once used a calculator yesterday.
I don't know how it happened.
I did it all just by pen and paper.
But let me tell you that even though you got 5 incorrect in 2 different portions of reading comprehension, at one point in time, you got 4 straight correct, and then 2 other times you got 3 straight correct. Reading comprehension was decent. It was not great.
I thought it was great.
Math with calculator, great. Math without calculator, good. The essay, very good.
Is that right?
Your punctuation wasn't tremendous, but this was more about you making your case.
And referencing the points made. That was key.
That's exactly right. In the essay, it was not supposed to be whether you agreed or disagreed with the writer. Instead, it was about supporting whether he made the proper case or saying that he did not use the right citations. Here's how it broke down. In a shocking turn of events, on a math, you got a 580.
Okay.
On reading comprehension, you got a 210.
Okay.
But on the essay,
You
got a 340, which means you nailed an 1110 on the SAT. You got the 1100.
And where's the 100 for writing my name?
I use the scale at prepscholar.com. It's kind of a sliding scale that you use with weighted scores. It took me quite a while. I mean, the science behind scoring this thing is actually pretty difficult. But if you look, I did all of this math on here. I mean, I'm grading all of this. It's ridiculous. I mean, I've got notes about where and when you did use the
1
right
minute
citations,
remaining.
improper grammar.
$45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for, it's all there. eBay, things people love. All right, Manny, what is happening in the association this week?
Well, Pearl, LeBron James practiced once again with the South Bay Lakers yesterday and did not feel any residual effects of his sciatica injury. That per ESPN. James was a full participant and even played 5-on-5 without feeling any soreness or lingering pain in his lower back and right leg. If everything goes according to plan, James is expected to rejoin the Lakers for a practice on Monday before the Lakers play the Jazz on Tuesday. LA then has 5 days off before having a rematch with Utah. James, who turns 41 years old next month, will become the first player in NBA history to play a 23rd season.
I have some questions about this.
Yeah.
Important dad questions.
Yeah.
So, South Bay Lakers, do they practice at the same spot that the LA Lakers play? So is he in the building with the other Lakers? Like, what does this mean?
I think they do share the facility.
And
I do think it's the UCLA health training center or something like that.
So he's basically practicing with the Lakers. Okay, because if it was a different facility with the traffic in LA, that's a huge... Because I assume he lives somewhere near the Lakers practice facility. If he had to go to another wild G League spot in LA, it could take 2 to 3 hours, depending on where the 10 is.
I don't know how it works for every G League team. I do know that the Knicks, the Westchester Knicks and the New York Knicks do practice at the same facility. The Knicks practice earlier, and then Westchester comes in at like 2, 3 o'clock, and they finish off practice.
Because I keep reading he's practicing with the South Bay Lakers. He's in the Lakers building. Like, what's the difference here? I don't even understand.
I guess just different practice times.
All right. That's all I got. Because it would be really annoying if he had to go, like, say it was across town.
Oh, yeah,
or
for
say
sure.
it was in the valley or something. Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, you're
Well, the
100%
worst
right.
part is all that sitting when you have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sciatica.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just brutal.
That's a great point. But anyway, so he's coming back, right? That's the bottom line. We're going to see LeBron soon.
Looks like
looks
it.
like it. Looks like it.
And
First
right
player
now,
ever to play a 23rd season. That's crazy to me.
I know more than Kareem, and I thought no one would ever break that.
Is that the record, Kareem?
I mean, Kareem played forever. I always thought that he held the record. I think it was more than Wilt, right?
I have no idea. I mean,
all right, you look that up.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Zach in Idaho. Zach, I'm being parent shamed today because my kid got pushed by another kid at school, and I said, good job not, keeping your hands to yourself and not hitting him back. Am I a bad parent?
No, I don't believe so, because you said he's in kindergarten, so
Yeah.
he's 5 or 6.
Yep.
So when they're in elementary, you want to tell them to go tell a parent or go tell an adult.
Yep.
But as they get up into middle school, then it's like, well, you have to stick up for yourself. A lot of those middle school kids, they end up following those same kids to high school, So you don't want that trend to carry. So then when they get a certain age, then you tell them to start protecting themselves.
Okay, so
I think you did all right.
Okay, thank you. Because the rest of the show is killing me today. But you're saying that when you get to middle school is when you have to start fighting back a little bit more.
Ooh,
What a posh life that guy has. I've been fending for myself since I was 7 years old.
Man, he was still, drinking out of a baby bottle, throwing elbows.
The scary thing, though, in middle school, some of the other kids get really big.
Yeah, they do.
That's when you can get your butt kicked in a major way. And Nico, on the other side of the glass, I know you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, know all about it.
Is there anything, I can remember this vividly. I don't know if you guys can. Obviously, I'm a woman, so I was never, well, that's not true. There were girl fights all the time where I went to high school. But anyway.
Dang.
Yeah, I know. There were definitely some girl fights, but there was nothing like the buzz that would ripple through school when you knew a fight was happening after school. We had like a parking lot, and that's where guys used to get in fights sometimes. And it was like a prize fight. It was like the lead up to Pacquiao Mayweather.
But
Tom Brady was there.
How often were there fights at your guys' school?
I mean, we're talking like maybe 3-4 times a year.
Oh, that's nothing, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like everyone at school knew to be out there, and like this big circle would form, and then we're waiting for who knows who and God knows who to come and fight.
No. It's just such a different experience because I mean, I went to school with 3,000 dudes and chicks, so I mean, like there was
fights all the time.
Fights all the time. The school is gigantic, so there's no chance if there's a fight over in House 4 that I'll be able to get there from House 2.
Before someone,
House 4,
before someone breaks it up,
basically,
cell block D over to cell block A.
Pop?
Yeah. Welcome to New Rochelle, baby.
I think I've told this story online. My daughter was in middle school, and there was a massive fight that made the papers and stuff. And my eldest daughter, said, "Yeah, I know nothing about this fight." And then I was reading the New York Post, a story about it, because it went on TikTok. That's the other thing. Every fight is now on
That's
a phone.
different than when we were growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now it's more of a social media thing. Like, you got to fight, and it's got to be filmed. And my daughter's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I pull up the New York Post, and I'm like, wait, those are your pants, and that looks like the back of your head in this photo 4 feet away from the fight. Oh, she's like, and then she says, oh, yeah, Dad, I totally lied to you. I was totally there. I'm like, I'm reading, I see you in the New York Post.
Perloff shows me, he goes, does this look like the back of Lucy's head? I was like, it kind of does.
Yeah,
it kind of does.
I kept saying, that girl has the same pants as you do. And it turns out,
like a
her jersey says Perloff.
I mean, it's not funny. Obviously, we're not encouraging fighting, but social media plays a massive role in all of this right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of wish it wouldn't. Like, I'm
No,
done. I don't
definitely
like
not,
seeing these fights on my timeline because I'm always getting the fights at sporting events, to bring it full
Yeah,
circle here. It's
yeah.
always like, I don't need to see another, Giants-Dodgers situation.
No.
Speaks for yourself.
Remember that Ravens fan who went along punching people after the game, and he got arrested?
He got arrested, thank goodness. There was just a guy who
that was a different story.
a Yankee fan who was trolling Blue Jay fans after they lost until he got punched in the face. But it was kind of like he went there specifically to troll, to be filmed, to get someone to bite.
One of my favorite fights in high school was I was just in class with this girl, science class, and we're walking to our next class together in math, and we took different routes, and then all of a sudden I see her just yanking another girl's hair right in front of me, and it was jarring. She was just calm 2 minutes ago.
Well,
And
what did that lady do to deserve it? Is what I'd have to ask.
I think they were talking smack about each other's sisters or something like that.
Yeah, like your hair pulled.
Yeah.
Can I say
Good
one thing,
times.
though?
I miss high school.
We were kind of joking, saying your kid should have punched the other kid back after your kid got pushed.
That's when I peaked.
I do not like throwing punches at a sporting event. Like, a sporting event is supposed to be, because I hate that. And I come from Philly, where it happened
You guys
all the time.
invented this.
Yeah, I just think that a stadium should be a safe space. I do not get so drunk and really hit people.
Tell your fellow Eagle fans.
Yeah, I mean, like,
change starts at home, Pearl.
Yeah, but I've seen bad things happen in LA, and I do not
Terrible
when it
things.
gets serious. That's just terrible.
Bad things happen in Philadelphia.
I don't know that people have gotten so badly hurt lately. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that.
Check a police scanner.
Yeah.
Bogush has all the latest headlines for us. Hopefully no one on the blotter.
No, I don't think so. Headlines are sponsored by Progressive Insurance. The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com. What a tease from those Jets right off the coin toss on Thursday Night Football.
Shotgun for Fields, takes the snap, pulls it, Fields sprinting to the far side right, at the pylon, cruises into the end zone. That's a Jet touchdown. What an opening drive. Justin Fields caps it, and the Jets have the early lead.
I love Bob.
Bob was choosing on Jets radio. The Jets won the toss, wanted the football, went 14 plays, 72 yards, 8 minutes, 4 seconds, ending with that touchdown run from Justin Fields. But the Patriots scored on their first 2 possessions and barely looked back. Their win streak is now 8 after a 27-14 final in Foxborough. The Jets' 2-game run is over. So just those 14 points, just 245 yards of offense. It looks like another struggle from Justin Fields, but running back Breece Hall did not see it that way.
Justin played his tail off today. He put the ball out there. We just got to do a better job of making plays for him. Not every ball is going to be perfect. And not every situation is going to be ideal, but at the end of the day, you got to still find a way to make a play. So I feel like as a skill group, we got to do a better job of making it easier for our O-line and quarterback.
An A.D. Mitchell drop among the mistakes by those skill guys. Hall ran for 58 yards, 9 fewer than Fields. Aaron Glenn said his QB was too much of a running back in this game. Texans QB C.J. Stroud will miss a second straight game with a concussion. Davis Mills starts against the Titans. Utah AD Mark Harlan is taking the place of Baylor AD Mac Rhodes on the CFP selection committee. Arkansas AD Hunter Yurachek replacing Rhodes as the chairperson, all because Rhodes is taking a leave from Baylor. He is under some kind of investigation.
Okay, but this is not the same investigation for when he had kind of an altercation between a football player, and an assistant coach on the sidelines of a football game. This is apparently something outside of the school, because that kind of made some headlines in late September.
Yeah, that has been completely adjudicated through the school's normal channels. This is not a Title IX investigation, and then something else that's not. So I don't know, it could be other things. I don't know that it's legal. I think it's just still within the school.
I think
but
it was
there's
code
something.
of conduct, Baylor's a faith-based, university,
Right.
and that's what I read this on Outkick yesterday. They kept saying that he broke he's being investigated for some kind of faith-based kind of impropriety.
But the leave is being called a personal leave.
Yeah.
Now, he wasn't put on leave by the school.
Man, Mac Rhodes, we barely knew you. We got two nights of you on ESPN defending some of these wonky college football playoff picks.
I honestly,
now he's gone.
All along he was too skinny to do that job effectively.
You're going to body shame him now?
I need a Boo Corrigan. I need if I'm going to hear about the college football playoff ranking, he was a little too young. I have a certain person in mind for that job, and it wasn't Mac Rhodes. It just didn't fit.
Too young.
This is where Manny
I felt like Ward Manuel.
He's 60. That's not old. I'm just saying.
That dude is older than the planet. 60 years old.
Easy.
I feel like I don't know. It just didn't seem to be in the same vibe of the guys that have been there before.
You want someone who looks a little more like a football coach.
Yeah. So who are the past ones? Boo Corrigan, Ward Manuel.
I wouldn't know them if they fell on me.
Well,
Ward Manuel, that'd be painful. Sorry, he's large.
I got nothing.
I don't know. Mac Rhodes wasn't doing it for me. Actually, Boo Corrigan is skinny.
He wasn't doing it for you.
I'm not picky when it comes to my CFP chair people.
They always have the most hysterical answers, though, because they're always asked to defend the indefensible, because it's totally random, whatever they're going to decide. It's a very funny spot.
No, they always have data and all these things, and then the last thing, when they're completely tapped out, they're just like, eye test. It's like, great. Well, how are you supposed to even fight against that?
Always, they have to find a way to explain Notre Dame, and they never really come up with one.
Eye test. It's about the eye test. Meanwhile, they have Texas Tech every third down that they've missed down to the EPA per drop back. But with Notre Dame, it's just eye test. Looks like a good team.
I'm always afraid to call things too early, but I think it's safe to declare that the Pacers will not be back in the NBA Finals this summer.
Booker hustling up the right side, pulls the trigger from 3 and rattles it in. Devin Booker absolutely taking this game over tonight in the third. He's up to 31 points on the night, and he gives the Suns their biggest advantage, 177. They're up 23.
That's Suns radio. Devin Booker finished with 33. 32 from Desmond Bane. Phoenix hammered Indy 133-98. The Pacers now 1-11.
Is that bad?
It is. Shohei Ohtani's now a 4-time MVP. All 4 unanimous. Just 3 for Aaron Judge. He wins his battle with Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh. And we check in on the Islanders and Golden Knights in OT in Vegas.
Head off the draw. Pajot is going to mash on the gas through center. He scores! A
Hell yeah, Paz.
JG Pajot says night-night to the Golden Knights.
Oh, I forgot this is good news for Nico. Islanders 4, Golden Knights 3.
Folks, thanks so much. Coming up, someone did get snubbed. And we have a crazy story. Guess who's back in the sports world?
Rick DiPietro.
The Mafia. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. We'll get back to the NFL in a second, but got another gambling scandal that dropped yesterday. This one all over the news. It's New Jersey-based, which is kind of ironic because Jersey, Pearl, is the state that kind of paved the way for sports betting to become legalized in this country through many states. So this one, though, more mob ties. Mafia member ran a multi-million-dollar sports betting ring by recruiting a network of Gen Z bookmakers through his son's circle of friends, which included college athletes. I'm reading here from the New York Times. So basically, you had one guy who is a member of the Lucchese crime family, allegedly, Little Joe, got his son, Joe, and his wife, his ex-wife, another son, and a stepson were all basically working the family business of, of running a gambling ring, illegal gambling. And they said that it includes a lot of different college athletes, but they've only named 2 former college wrestlers from Rutgers University. The other college athletes are not being named.
I mean, first question, you could bet on Rutgers wrestling?
No, it just happened to be the 2 former wrestlers were like like agents of this little mom and pop kind of crime family.
So let me ask you a question. Yeah. Is there any allegation of fixing in here? Because if it's just listen, I used to bet and I knew exactly, eventually every bookie gets to the mob. I won't say who my bookie was, but I assumed that.
Did he have a fun nickname?
No, he was a guy I went to high school with.
Yeah.
But I know everyone would talk about, his bookie, because, he has to lay off his bet somewhere.
Sure.
His bookie is getting close to some really bad people. So that if it's just a normal mafia-based bookie system, then I'm fine with it. The question is, did they throw anything? Sorry. And I have not read too much into this. Like that's a scary thing here because that's been happening for generations, right?
Yeah, I guess it looks like pretty run of the mill, like racketeering or some of the charges that they're getting hit with. I see some of the other stuff here, but anyway, yeah, I thought that legalized betting was supposed to get the mob out of betting. Right? Wasn't that the whole thing? And now I feel like we've had these 2, we have had 2 now indictments on one side and now these arrests on the other, where the mob is 100% linked to these scandals.
Right, except that legalized betting has made it easier to find the scandals. For example,
sure.
Jonte Porter and Terry Rozier, that was all immediately flagged because of legalized gambling. I don't know if you could make all those bets back in the day. That never would have been flagged before, and the mafia would have just gotten away with whatever they were doing, which has probably happened for years.
So, the charges are racketeering, conspiracy, gambling offenses, and money laundering. So I don't see any, maybe thrown games in here, but who knows? This is just the beginning.
Oh, yeah. I mean, once you get into the college ranks, that is a scary, scary time because those guys, a lot of them don't have money. You read about Arch Manning making $6 million in NIL. That is not the case for 90% of college athletes.
Right. And you cannot bet. Well, I'll speak for myself. I could not, me living in New Jersey where this story is taking place, I can't bet on a Rutgers football game when I'm in New Jersey.
Right.
Right. So, at least it's, even if it's localized, this is about not DraftKings and FanDuel. These were using illegal offshore accounts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah, or just a traditional bookie.
Mm-hmm.
No,
yep.
I mean, I think, once again, the sports books, the legal sports book could argue, hey, we're helping control this because without us, it's the wild, wild west again. I mean, they're we all know the famous gambling scandals.
No, I know, but so I said, I thought legalized gambling was supposed to get the mob out of this stuff, but I think what it's kind of showed us is that just because you can gamble legally doesn't mean people have stopped gambling with bookies, or have stopped because, bookies will give you a marker, they'll let you gamble beyond your means.
Yep.
Whereas DraftKings and FanDuel, whatever's in your account's in your account.
Right. Also, yeah, there's no taxes with a bookie.
Fair, yeah. DraftKings and FanDuel, they take your social security number when you sign up.
Right.
Yeah.
If I was doing better, I would be paying those taxes.
Not on a hot streak anymore?
We've had some good days, some bad days. Your Bills haven't been helping me.
Don't live bet them. I told you that.
Oh, well, come on. It was Miami, Maggie. And they were storming down, and it's a 15-yard tush push, and Josh Allen fumbles. Looking at that play. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're not even touching that.
Family was that? No.
But that is a good point that there is still illegal gambling going on here. And also, I totally agree. The mafia ties after the Chauncey Billups story. Hey, FBI, get on this, dudes. By the way, that being said, I don't want any. If anyone is listening out there in their cars in northern Jersey, go about your business. So Maggie and Perloff
anything.
We have no problem. Maggie, you live in that part of the state. I don't know if we should really be talking too much about this.
Yeah, I don't want all of a sudden.
If your neighbor walks out at 10 a.m. wearing a bathrobe and gets the paper and his looks like Tony Soprano.
Yep, that's what they're hiding right in my neighborhood. Actually, we did have a funny thing happen one time. This is a little bit strange. Should I tell the story? We were looking for.
Should I get off camera here just so the mob doesn't see me in this story if it gets to social media?
I'm not going to use any names here. So. No, not Big Joe, Little Joe. No. We went to go look at a house once. It was a house for sale. And my husband and I went to go look at it. And the guy recognized me. So he knew that I was into sports. And then at the very end, after we left, we exchanged numbers and he texted my husband, hey, I know you guys are sports fans. If you want in on like this big pool, some kind of like your Survivor pool kind of, the one that's not, a little underground.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Please go ahead.
And my husband's like, thanks, I'm okay. And he named some people who are also in the pool, and I was like, I think we should probably avoid that.
I think that Survivor pool is above ground.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
good.
But no, you were smart to do that, especially in your neck of the woods.
Luke's in Vermont. Luke, the show's giving me a lot of guff because my kid got pushed by a bully at school, and I said to my kid, good job not fighting back. Instead, tell him, don't touch me ever again, and go tell the teacher. Was I in the right or was I in the wrong?
You're in the right. So I do this for a living. I investigate bullying incidents. I've also been a teacher for a long time as well. And that you did the right thing, especially at this age. That's the best thing you can do, mainly because what I end up dealing with is retaliation.
Right.
When you start talking to the students who get aggressive, and then that's just escalation. So the escalation builds, and then ultimately that's when the worst stuff comes out, and that's what I start to handle. And at this age, it's good to teach them de-escalation, how to walk away from things. So you handled it correctly. I want to say that. But the ironic thing, which I told one of your screeners, was that before I got this job, my daughter's in kindergarten. She's in 4th grade now. And I got a call from the school that she was on a 1-day suspension from the bus.
Oh, no, we're running out of time, and I want to hear this story
God,
so bad.
I asked what happened. She was standing up for a friend. The bully she stood up against pushed her, and she proceeded to throat punch him.
Wow.
So,
I'm telling you, your daughter's ride or die. She's a good friend.
Yes, she is.
Luke, thank you for that. You need friends like that. Call them foxhole people. Punch them in the throat.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Sweeps. He's got the road trip blues. Left behind, feeling like he's bound to lose. Bogle stuck at home. His heartache amplifies. Betting against Wembyama, Perloff took the fall. But it's Bogle's left behind, feeling 10 feet tall. A loser in his own right, can't catch a break. Road trip dreams shattered, for goodness sake. For goodness sake. Bogle's counting the minutes, ticking like a clock. While Perloff's cruising highways, Hilarion talk. San Antonio shining, the city's calling their names. Go goose in home, stop playing life's cruel games. Bogusz weeps, he's got the road trip blues. Left behind, feeling like he's
Maggie's got some giant feet, they're the talk of the town. When she walks the sidewalk cracks, she's bringing buildings down. She tried to buy some shoes, but they said no way. Now she's wearing boat sails just to get through the day. Maggie's giant feet, they're a real big deal. Stepping on puddles, creating lakes for real. Maggie's giant feet, they make a mighty thud. But Maggie just laughs, hey, it's all in good fun. She went to a dance, cleared out the floor. Her feet made the music, folks yell for more. At the beach, she's a hit, making
One minute remaining. Five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
First and goal to go from the 7 once again. Henderson scored from this spot on New England's last drive. Double tight ends left. West over the fullback. Henry motions right. May hands it to Henderson. Cuts it left. Runs it to the left side. Into the end zone. That's 2 for Travion Henderson. And the Patriots take the lead.
Thank you, Patriots Radio. It would be a hat trick for Travion Henderson. 2 rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown as well. And the Patriots get their 9th win of the season, Pearl. Pretty impressive stuff. 27-14 against any division rival. I mean, there were opportunities here for the Patriots to really blow the doors off of the Jets. This was actually a 1-score game going into the fourth quarter, but Nonetheless, they were control of the whole game.
Yep.
And now Drake May is getting all types of MVP buzz, and the Patriots look like they can have home field advantage to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, this is starting to look like a Mike Vrabel team, too. 27-14 in Mike Vrabel world is kind of a blowout.
Like 42-0.
Yeah, and Trayvon Henderson did, they said before the game in a very awkwardly worded sentence that Trayvon Henderson was going to carry a lot of the load for New England. No jokes here. Manny, stop smiling. So he totally delivered 19 carries for 62 yards. Now, one thing, he had his first touchdown. Do you know what happened on that play? He ran up the middle, and then all his linemen pushed him into the end zone.
Last night?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought you meant his first touchdown of the year. I'm
Trayvon
sorry.
Henderson's
yes,
first
yes,
touchdown.
His first touchdown. Yes, pushed into the end zone. Yes,
Do you
yes,
know
yes.
next year that's not going to be a touchdown?
Fantastic. Great. I don't care about this. You do.
Oh my God! But it was a 9-yard touchdown. You didn't think that was interesting? That's going to go away?
I don't mind that
Hold on. He didn't get pushed by his own. The Patriots players were pushing the Jets players out of the way, and Travion just happened to be getting pushed by all those people that were getting pushed as well.
I think that play will go away. I mean, that would be whistle dead.
He was not really purposely aided by his offensive lineman into the end zone. The way that the
I
Eagles
think he was.
Oh, not the way that the
All
Eagles.
right, well, you
run
guys
this.
are going to quibble about this. This is awesome. But I have no problem with the tush push going away, with all the other pushes at the goal line going away, because I don't think you should be able to pull a guy into the end zone.
Yeah.
I don't think be able to push him into the end zone. They should be able to get in like on their own volition.
But by the way, it did also note you could also Trayvon Henderson is a tough runner too. That was another revelation last night. I think the rap on him was he's more of like a home run guy. Last night you saw him running between the tackles, which I think is really key. If New England has high aspirations to be a Super Bowl team, they kind of have to be not just Drake May is awesome and that's all we got. I think that Mike Vrabel is probably pretty happy about last night, even though it was a game, because there was some balance. There was a run pass thing. I think they've been a little too heavy on the pass. So that makes them interesting. You got to admit, they're a tough-nosed team. What a coaching hire Mike Vrabel was, as it turns out.
Yeah, of course, and he was a retread. And, we're talking about some of these openings that are going to happen. You already have two, Giants, Titans. I have no problem with retreads, guys who maybe took a year off, maybe burn out a little bit. You get your mojo back, whatever, and this is just a perfect fit. My thing is about just how impressive these wins are for the Patriots. Listen, you play who's on your schedule, and they have a last place schedule because they've been a last place team in the AFC East for the last couple of years. So they're winning, and Drake May looks great. But has the test really come yet? I'd love to see him against top 10 defense or a really good team. I think about what would the Patriots look like if they had to play the Detroit Lions.
What about Buffalo?
Well, the Bills have issues right now. And if that's the thing about Buffalo. No, everyone sees Josh Allen and obviously they're a good team. They have a terrible run defense.
Mm-hmm.
They have no wide receiver weapons right now that are consistent and reliable. So the Bills got issues.
But they won in Buffalo.
By 3 points. I get it. The Bills just went down to Miami, who they never lose to, and got blown out to the point where Mitchell Trubisky finished the game. It's a weird Bills season. I think that says more about the Bills than it did about the Pats. It's definitely their signature win. But again, this Bills team is not what you're used to if you're watching closely, which unfortunately I am.
Yeah, I mean, I think at Tampa Bay and at Buffalo, that's something. That's definitely something.
Tampa was a shell, that, and that was a game at the end. But Tampa has all types of injuries, including most notably to Baker Mayfield, who's dealing with an oblique over the last couple games. And you can tell all of a sudden his MVP candidacy is completely in the porta potty because he can't run like he was earlier in the year. He's not running at all.
Still, I mean, first of all, Baker was kind of awesome at the end of that game, regardless.
Not with his legs.
And they had Ibuka, too. I don't know. I mean, listen, is it the best schedule? Obviously not. Baker was, oh my God, Baker's numbers, I forgot. He torched them at certain points in that game. That was a great game. New England, you're right, they're only playing who's on their schedule. I just think they're a much better team now than they were early in the season. In part because Drake May is so confident. He moves around, and when he's moving around, he's clearly one of those quarterbacks who can still look downfield effectively. I think that's why we were talking earlier in the show, guys were open last night because the cornerbacks had to hold for 8 seconds because Drake May was just traipsing around the pocket with no fear of the pass rush at all.
Listen, the Jets are awful.
Newsflash.
Worse than awful. Like, these are going to be the highlights for Drake May where he's throwing to Stephon Diggs and there's no one in the shot. I mean, the Jets are dead man walking. I know that they had just won 2 straight, but look at that, who they beat. And teams that are even worse than they are or right on par as far as bad defenses are concerned. Like,
yeah, but I mean,
congrats.
Drake May
Like, you played pitch and catch all night.
He did rip the Browns apart, too. I mean, he's definitely had some impressive moments. I mean, you can't argue. These stats are insane.
Was Cardi there last night? I didn't see her.
God.
Not to my knowledge.
Did you guys not follow the Cardi B drama last night?
What happened?
What was going on? So Cardi B's dating Stephon Diggs, having a baby together, and she was at the last game. She's super pregnant. She's getting interviewed on the field, and Stephon Diggs was just kind of standing next to her.
I got to find the so basically TMZ Sports. Did she announce? When did she announce that she was having a baby with Stephon Diggs?
I don't know.
Couple months ago.
Yeah.
Something happened before the game. Maybe. Anyway, he threw a football to a cheerleader, and TMZ Sports made it into a giant scandal. It was hysterical.
Is it maybe the fact that Cardi B gave birth to Stephon Diggs' kid already?
Right. Yeah, yesterday, right?
Yeah. That's
right
what I'm
before the
looking
game.
up.
Okay, that's
Cardi
what I
B
thought it was.
welcomes baby number 4, her first with boyfriend Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, TMZ Sports, at TMZ Sports, which is where you really should be getting your sports information.
Oh, yeah.
Stephon Diggs tosses football to cheerleader minutes after Cardi B announces birth.
I'm not going to lie. I did see that live, and I figured to myself, I don't think Cardi's going to like that. But who knows? Maybe she was heavily sedated after giving birth.
I read the story back and forth
really
like twice
like
trying to find a smoking gun. I think Stephon Diggs is going to be okay on this one, but...
Oh, he's going to be fine.
Well, I mean, this is like the old... I think it was Chris Rock who said this, like, you blame the tiger for going tiger. Like, what do we think's going to happen here? You dating Stephon Diggs, who's like the number one rebound guy.
Oh, wow.
He just had a
Hollywood.
baby. They just announced the baby.
He's got a baby coming with another chick.
Does he?
Yes.
Oh.
They had to do a whole paternity test.
Oh.
You guys got to find your other news outlets, like Perloff said. TMZ.
I'm sorry for sticking with ESPN.
By the way, good
New York
game
Times.
for Stephon Diggs last night.
Yeah.
Another 100-yard game, 100-yard plus. But again, it's against the Jets, guys. 888-710 4ISN. Let's get to your NFL preview. Every game in 60 seconds. All right, Manny.
All right, guys, for the last time this season, we watch a 9:30 Eastern game. First ever game on Spanish soil, the Commanders and the Dolphins from El Santiago Bernabeu.
Sounds better when you say it.
You're wrong about that. We don't watch this one, but go ahead.
Maybe Miami can show they're functional if they can actually win this game. And they're going to have a shot because the Washington Commanders' injuries, Pearl, just continue to mount. It was really the offense that got hit the worst. Now the defense is also all banged up. If Miami could make it 2 in a row, maybe they can salvage what has been a very embarrassing season.
Yeah, I mean, they're 3-7. A bunch of those losses have come down to really like bad mistakes at the very end of the game. You know who I'm most excited about? Devon Achane, man. He is electric. I know you saw that against the Bills. I would love for him to have a big game here. He's got a little Jahmyr Gibbs in him. I'm into it.
Who's next?
We go down to the ATL as the Falcons will host the Carolina Panthers. We start the 1 o'clock slate.
Yeah, that's, once again, unless you have money on this one or you're a massive Panthers fan, the season's alive for the Panthers at 5-5. Right now, I'm very curious about Atlanta, though. I want to see what's Penix? Like, what is Michael Penix? In this second-year class, is he any good? This is a great opportunity at home against Carolina to have a big game. He's got to start playing better, or already I think Atlanta's going to be like, what do we got here?
Do you hear Michael Penix this week saying that he doesn't really have anyone to lean on during the games when things are going wrong?
No, I
That's
didn't see
not
that.
good. And if you lose to the Carolina Panthers now, get the seat real warm for Raheem Morris. And listen, this is like pretty easy here, right? Didn't the Bills and other teams show you what the blueprint is? You run the ball on the Carolina Panthers. So Bijan Robinson should have a big day. Who's next?
A pair of 6-3 teams do battle out in Western New York as the Bills will host the Buccaneers.
Okay, so this obviously is going to be a matchup all about the quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, 2018 class, the whole deal. But this should be about the run game for both of these teams. And I know that Tampa Bay has some injuries in the backfield, but, maybe Buck Irving, is he going to come back? Maybe. You have to commit to the run if you want to beat the Bills. That's the number one thing that I would say for the Bucs, Pearl. And then the Bills, I'd say same thing. Believe it or not, despite the stars on the Tampa defense, the Vita Veas and stuff like that, they actually are allowing a lot of explosive plays on the ground. So if James Cook can be old James Cook, commit to the run, get out of here with a very big W.
How do you feel?
Not great.
Oh, you nervous about this week?
Of course.
No, I mean, like, for real, though.
Yes, for real, very nervous.
Yeah. So you think the Bucs have a good shot at an upset here?
I think anyone can beat the Bills right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jaguars continue to adjust without Travis Hunter. They will host the 7-3 Los Angeles Chargers in Jacksonville.
Man, the Chargers are the mysterious good team, right? Their offensive lineman went down. Justin Herbert, he's been pretty good. Here's how I'm watching the Chargers from now on.
Okay.
Do they come away with a win? Who gets hurt, Maggie?
Oh, man. Don't say it.
Honestly, like, Justin Herbert, I love Jim Harbaugh. He's got to have less touches on his quarterback. Now, this is going to be, I guarantee this is going to be a close game. I guarantee Justin Herbert's going to have to make a big play. I really feel like Chargers have to be careful and try and hand the ball off. What's our latest on Marion Hampton, by the way?
So this is where I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence, okay, and Liam Cohen. You just came off what some were calling the worst loss in the history of the entire franchise. Now you have to bounce back where you get a home game against a team that will probably let you hang around. Trevor Lawrence has a under 80 passer rating this season. That's the second lowest among quarterbacks with 125 or more pass attempts. He's in the bottom 10 of completion percentage. I know they have injuries on the wide receiver room, Travis Hunter on IR, Brian Thomas Jr., etc. But Pearl, like, you get a home game now coming off that embarrassing log, because this has got to be a Trevor Lawrence game to me. And maybe the Jags front can get to Justin Herbert because all of his offensive linemen.
How much does Trevor Lawrence need to be leading to win that game?
Oh, my God, by 50.
Yeah, because we saw the ill-timed defensive collapse last week against Davis Mills.
How about an NFC North battle, I should say, as Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears take a visit to Minnesota, take on the Vikings.
Do you guys know how many starts J.J. McCarthy has made in his NFL career?
5?
5. That's it. 5. It feels like he's been in our life for 2 decades. He's been on the team for a year and a half. So I'm always like a little, is he actually playing poorly, or does he just have no reps whatsoever? This one, to me, I'm leaning Bears. They've been able to pull out some of these wins, Pearl. I don't know how good Caleb Williams is. Some throws are amazing. Some are absolute garbage. But I feel like the Bears may have a little something with these last-second comebacks.
Have you guys followed any of the Justin Jefferson stuff this week? So he looks super checked out. He said he has some off-field stuff going on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he's averaging about 50 yards per game with J.J. McCarthy and about 95 with Wentz. He clearly would prefer Wentz. I am watching Justin Jefferson's body language, and will it be a squeaky wheel against the grease? Are they going to feed him the ball? Because obviously he's their best player. To not go to him every play is mystifying, but I don't know if McCarthy can get him the ball out there. I'm really watching that relationship closely.
First game for interim head coach Mike Kafka. New era starts for the New York Giants.
Yeah.
The Packers at MetLife to take on the Giants.
None of this is fair to Green Bay. None of this. Okay, they're my Super Bowl pick. They're struggling. They need an easy win over the Giants. And what do the Giants do? They get the interim coach bump and the Jameis bump. This has got Giants win all over.
City in the world.
Yeah.
Why? Where's Russ?
Jameis Winston singing Hamilton.
And then saying that it's a Hamilton reference, as if nobody in the world has seen Hamilton, but whatever. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, no, they got, this is totally, the Giants are going to win this game. I feel so good about Jameis.
Wow. Okay. I would feel a little better about the Giants actually winning this game if the Giants could actually stop the run. What have we talked about this entire week, Pearl, after your Eagles beat the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau? They've lost 2 in a row at home. It was the run. Like, they have no Tucker Kraft, a lot of injuries. Well, you know what? This is actually a week where Matt LaFleur should stick to the run because somehow sexy Dexter Lawrence has been a shell of himself. You can run on the New York Giants, which is a crazy thing to say considering their best-known talent is actually up front. It's got to drive people like Manny and Nico absolutely insane. So,
Counterpoint, Jameis Winston.
Okay. Who's he throwing to?
What's the difference?
Lil Jordan Humphrey's not there.
Humphrey. Gosh.
It's
Best
Jameis.
name ever. Lil Jordan Humphrey.
And he's also like
God-given name.
6'5".
God-given name, Lil Jordan.
Not very Lil.
Wait, is that really his
His
driver's license name?
I mean, that's what it was in college. Now the pros, I would imagine.
Yeah, Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Yeah, we already looked this up.
We did? Okay.
We continue. AFC North Bengals against the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
Old man quarterbacks again. Remember we made a big deal about that the first time it happened?
Icy Hot Bowl.
Listen, Big spot here for the Steelers. I'll put the Bengals to the side for a second. Big spot here for the Steelers. I mean, how bad was it against the Chargers on Sunday Night, Pearl? You got Aaron Rodgers looked terrible. Mike Tomlin kind of calling him out or not defending him at the very least. It got weird. And the Steelers defense has played better, but I'm really watching the Tomlin-Rodgers thing and how can he bounce back and have a good game? Is he capable of that at this point?
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers are always hard to predict under Tomlin. This is so important on the other side of the ball, too. If the Bengals need to keep winning to keep the hope that Joe Burrow will return with a chance to make the playoffs alive. If they lose this one, does that mean Burrow doesn't try and come back? But Joe Flacco leading the league in passing yards per game. Obviously, I expect Flacco to have 400 yards and Rodgers to have 200 yards, and that not tell us anything about who's going to win the game.
Well, Cincinnati won the last matchup by a slim margin, 2 points, and now the Steelers have lost 3 of their last 4. Can Cincinnati beat them twice? I don't know, but again, how much is Rodgers, if we get 2 stinker games in a row?
Rodgers, and even last week's stinker game, he's always about right around 200 yards. They need to also run the ball. Now, honestly, I think their defense is better at this point of the season. I kind of like them because the defense, if you get TJ Watt going on, Joe Flacco that can't move, maybe that's where you win the game.
A game I know Perloff is very excited for as Davis Mills and the 4-5 Houston Texans travel to Nashville, Tennessee to take on Cam Ward and the 1-8 Tennessee Titans.
Hey, how many points did the Titans score the first time these two teams played? I think it's a 0. I think it's a 0 burger. The Titans are awful right now, and I'm sorry, they did not get that new coach bump. So it feels like the Texans are making a push here. This should be an easy win. The Titans are trying to develop Cam Ward, but there's nothing going on there. I'm curious, too, because you've been kind of talking up the Texans.
Yep.
This should be an easy win. They just destroyed them last time they played, 26-0. So I think the Texans are going to try and build momentum for a real push here, improve to 5-5.
Yeah, so the Texans have a couple things going for them. Well, not that their quarterback is out with a concussion for the second week. That's not good. But they are 4-5. They're technically in 9th place, for playoff standings, Pearl, but they win the tiebreak over Baltimore because of the head-to-head. Now, if you think Baltimore's just going to win the division, that's not going to matter. But if somehow that gets into a wild card situation, could end up being important.
Rock out with your Brock out, guys. Purdy is back as the Niners take on the Cardinals in Arizona.
I feel like there's a lot riding on this personally for the show because Perloff doesn't think there's any difference between Mac Jones and Brock Purdy, and I think there's a reason they're going to Purdy, not just because maybe he is feeling better on the turf toe, but also because I think Kyle Shanahan does believe that there is an appreciable difference between Brock Purdy and Mac Jones. So I don't know if we're going to necessarily know that off of a game against the Arizona Cardinals, who just can't stop losing. But to me, I'm curious if Brock does look a lot better in this offense, and Ricky Pearsall's coming back, which helps.
Yeah, I mean, but Mac Jones has clearly played well enough for them to win these games. The defense fell apart against the Rams last week immediately. Again, sometimes because the Niners are still competitive and winning games, we forget that Warner and Bosa aren't there.
I know.
And and they should be okay against Arizona, but still, it's the defense that really worries me in SF.
Big game out west as the 7-2 Seahawks travel to LA to take on the 7-2 Rams.
The Cooper Kupp revenge game. Are we talking about that? I'm going to go ahead and say it, Maggie. MVP battle. Whoever wins this game, Sam Darnold or Matthew Stafford, jumps up to number 2 in the MVP odds behind Drake May. I'm really excited. I think that the Seahawks have probably not run into a defense like LA. I feel like the Sam Darnold magic might disappear a little bit. I feel like he gets under a lot of pressure, and we know when Sam Darnold's under pressure, he's not quite as effective. So I think the LA defense could be the story of the game here, because they're playing well.
Well, what about Seattle's defense? They're also really good. They force turnovers. To me,
I don't know. I don't know that they scare Matthew Stafford the way that the Rams defense scares Darnold.
Okay. I don't know. Seattle feels like a real kind of havoc defense to me. I wouldn't overlook them. I feel like this is the kind of thing where these two teams are going to split, most likely with the home team probably, wait, did they already play earlier this year overtime? I need the Seahawks schedule really fast. But anyway, Rams are at home.
No, they have 2 games left.
They have 2 games left. Yeah. Excuse me. I was thinking about San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah.
2 games left. I think they're just going to split home like the division because these are the 2 best teams maybe in the NFL. And if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, it took a blocked field goal return for a touchdown for your Eagles to beat the Rams earlier in the season at home. Like, whoever wins this could be best team in the NFC.
One thing about this, Seattle hasn't really...
In the league, I mean.
Seattle hasn't really played a lot of good offenses. So there's a lot TBD here.
They played Tampa when Baker Mayfield was an MVP candidate.
That game, every single drive was a touchdown from both teams.
They didn't do a great job of it. I was about to say that.
Yeah, I think Seattle could be more of a high-octane offense team than a defense team.
Lamar Jackson back to a full participant as he and the Ravens travel to Cleveland to take on Dylan Gabriel and the Browns.
Listen, the Ravens were in that 1-5 hole, and now they're 4-5, Pearl. But you cannot afford to mess around with games like this if you are really trying to make the full comeback. And I wouldn't even bring that up, except for the games on the road, and they are AFC North people. But I think Dylan Gabriel, I don't know. He's just not been good enough. And I know there's not a lot around him, but I don't see how he's keeping Shedeur Sanders from the field, because it's not like Gabriel's played so great that it's like, well, we can't afford to bring Shedeur in right now.
No, I mean, the funny thing is he played pretty good and they lost to the Jets. He makes nice throws. He's fine. He's like a fine third-round pick. Yeah, he actually did nothing wrong against the Jets. It's just the team is non-competitive. I think they really are. I think they're more dedicated to tanking than other people. So this should be Baltimore rights the ship. I know what you mean about Baltimore will blow a game like this once in a while. This I don't see happening.
An enormous game in the AFC West as the Chiefs travel to Denver to take on the Broncos in the Mile High City.
I feel like there's a lot riding on this one for our show because I keep saying, watch out for the Chiefs. They are the legitimate favorite in the AFC. I think they start to prove it this week. I am really worried about the dissonance between the Broncos defense and the Broncos offense. Bo Nix is great in the last 3 minutes of a game, but he has regressed. He's quietly regressed, and the Chiefs are so desperate now, Maggie. I feel like Denver's going to get a hungry Chiefs team here, and it's a scary proposition if they can't fix that offense because it's been struggling.
Yeah, a little Andy Reid off the bye magic I thought you would bring up, which is always a really dangerous place. I want to feel better about this for Denver because I think they could put the division away with a win, but Patrick Surtain did not practice yesterday. J.K. Dobbins did not practice yesterday. I was kind of hoping that some of their injury luck would start to change a little. We'll see about the injury report for today.
And we'll also see if A.J. Brown will be continuing his complaints, as on Sunday Night Football, we have the Detroit Lions taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in South Philadelphia.
I can't do the A.J. Brown thing anymore.
Oh, yeah. No. Makes two
Too
of
bad.
us, bro.
He's still on your team.
Here's the thing. They're going to need A.J. Brown against the Lions offense. They need to actually run an NFL offense, not whatever they did against Green Bay. I still think what's the best way to stop the Lions offense is to play keep away. It might be another conservative game plan. Nick Sirianni, the head coach, feels like he's really intent on playing conservative offensive football.
This could be things go from bad to worse Philadelphia, where the winning's not covering up some of the interpersonal stuff. If the Lions come in and beat you by a touchdown, Pearl, which would be crazy, but their offense is obviously in a much better spot than where your offense is right now, and if it becomes like that, I think you're going to see some panic. Everyone's going to be worried in Philadelphia. I know how this fan base reacts. Yeah. It just gets totally over the top, no matter what the record says.
That's funny. In a close game, I would lean Eagles, by the way. I feel like they might be a better fourth quarter team at home.
Okay.
Colts and Saints are on a bye. That's the NFL, and we've previewed it.
Yeah, and we will get to the Monday night game, and that is the Cowboys and the Raiders. We'll do that on Monday.
Yeah, we will.
All right, let's go. Pearl, tonight, I'm feeling great. Not just because Prize Picks is in my life, which is super fun, and it's become the obsession of this show. Not even lying about that. But this is what I love. I love betting on one of the Spurs that's not Wemby. How about Stephon Castle? 7.5 assists when the Spurs tonight play the Golden State Warriors. You know you got to move the ball if you're playing the Warriors. So give me more than on Stephon Castle finding Wemby for all types of scores. And then I love this Dante Moore pick. You guys, Oregon football on your television tonight. Oregon playing Minnesota. Give me more than 200.5, so 200.5 passing yards for Dante Moore. Standalone game, fun game. Let's go with Ducks.
Oh, I love it because it's hard to watch Minnesota football if you don't have an interest on it. Prize Picks available in 40-plus states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. They don't play about your money. All transactions on the app are fast, safe, secure. Don't miss any of the action with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code MNP and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups where you play $5. That's code MNP on PrizePicks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you're going to get $50 in bonus credits in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, it's good to be right, must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. You know, it's funny. People say the NFL season starts after Thanksgiving. I feel like this is the week. Like finally, it's all happening here. I don't even know how I'm going to handle the 4 o'clock window, which has been kind of crappy. But it's funny thinking a lot of people are complaining to be Seattle against LA Rams is 4:05.
Yep.
That means nobody sees it. It's not going to any part of the 4:05 is where you bury games. I don't know how that happened. Obviously, the Chiefs get such massive ratings. The Chiefs Broncos is going to go out to the country. But that's an important game too. And then the Lions Eagles rating is going to be massive too. It is going to be a really fun afternoon. And I got to tell you, I feel like your Bills and the Bucks is going to be a must watch at 1 o'clock. I will not be tuning in for the 9:30 a.m. Washington Miami, but generally this is going to be a particularly stressful Sunday for all of us. Like this is like we're not getting a break here.
I thought sports was supposed to be fun.
I mean, last week the 4 o'clock window. Remember where we were complaining was blowout, blowout, blowout. One of the games got kind of close to Rams Niners, but this is a hard work for America this weekend. Like, guys, say goodbye to your families. It's time to get really, really serious.
This is tough. You got to get your 6-pack. You got to get your chips. You got to order a pizza. You got to sit back, relax, and watch football. This is brutal.
Usually, I also get a break between 4:05 and 4:25. I don't know if you guys relate to that.
What do you do during that time? Refresh the popcorn
Well,
bowl?
it depends. Are the 1 o'clock games still in the witching hour? But the 4:05 game, I feel like the NFL, when you put a game at 4:05, you're just saying this is irrelevant. That is a message that they're sending. It's almost always, I think Arizona is always in that 4:05 game. But then at 4:25, the big game comes on. Now you have no choice. It is right through. It is.
What do you want, like an IV or something? How are you going to possibly survive? We've been training our whole lives for this, Pearl. We're experts.
Yeah, you guys don't have that little dip after the witching hour when the 1 o'clock games are decided where the 4 o'clock games start and you're just not really ready to go. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of shape, but this is going to be...
Out of shape? We're week 11. It's week 11, buddy.
This is
year 9 of this.
form.
I'm telling you, if you go week to week and you look at it, you usually get a break. You usually
what do you want
have
to do? Go outside and smoke a cigarette? What do you do?
I might walk around the block, yeah.
Okay, we can still do that.
I don't need to see the Raiders get blown out of 4:05. That's fine.
Well, luckily, we all get the Raiders. They're on Monday Night Football this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Normally, I get a 4:05 break. This week, for some reason, it's really good. Baltimore, Cleveland, that should be bad. But generally, this is, I'm telling you guys are going to laugh on Sunday. 4:15, you're going to be exhausted. And you're going to be watching your TV and you say, Perloff was right, man. This is a challenge.
I feel like not all exhaustion is created equal, you know?
Yeah, we all got to show our stamina.
Being exhausted from watching sports all day, I've been there where my eyes start to hurt because, when your TV gives you that notification, hey, are you still watching?
Yeah, I know. I get that too.
Degenerate. You still watching? I feel like it comes with a judgmental kind of... It's just a pop-up. Does this not happen to you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Of course, yes, of course.
That's why I don't want to use the word lightly, but Warriors, are we going to be Warriors this weekend? I think so.
A lot of college games, too. It's double duty.
Texas, Georgia, and Alabama. But I don't know. I feel like this is a pro weekend for sure. Because pro's been now, we're getting really serious here. This is not joking. Chiefs have to win this game. You can't early season stuff, and the Ravens have to win. Otherwise, all our narratives go poof.
Man, Pearl, get the blood pressure medication.
You guys aren't like this about? Yeah, I don't know. Am I alone?
All right, let's get to Bogus.
Sunday
She's got the latest headline.
Hard work, man. I'm making a chili in advance on Saturday, putting in the fridge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, everything.
No distractions.
Everything is happening here. It's a very focused household this weekend.
Your headlines are sponsored by Skechers. Watch the Skechers World Champions Cup this December 4th, 5th, and 7th on ESPN and ABC. And maybe by December 4th, 5th, or 7th, the Patriots will have lost again, but not here on November 14th.
Snap to May. Looks to his left. He pumps. He throws. Bolted in the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots. And who caught it? Trevion Henderson. A hat trick for the rookie.
Bob Sosey, Scott Zolak, Pats Radio. The rookie running back ran for his first 2 scores on Thursday Night Football. New England let the Jets be the Jets and won 27-14, extending their win streak to 8. Not bad, Drake May.
The goal of these Thursday night is come out with a win, and that's what happened. Things we look back on, didn't have as much time to prepare for. Some things that I could, look back at myself and, wish I had plays back. But, at the end of the day, just proud of these guys for the effort, the win.
It is win number 9 for the Patriots. They could have the best record in the league after this weekend, depending on what Denver and Indy do. It is loss number 9 for the Jets. They only mustered 245 yards of offense and committed the game's lone turnover.
Boy, it's a good thing Aaron Glenn let everybody, not know who the quarterback is for the New York Jets.
All right.
That really worked out.
Got him.
Really faked him out.
Got him.
Only 245. I was like, man, this is an impressive Jets show. That's not so bad for them, is it?
Also, Justin Fields was going to be under 100 until he got some garbage time not garbage time, but Patriots kind of softening up the defense.
He threw for 116.
Yeah.
Not his fault.
That first drive looked great, though.
Yeah.
I was like, this could be a game.
And then there was another 55 minutes that needed to be played.
Did you know that the Patriots actually have someone on their staff who it's their job to create the offensive script that they think the defense is going to see because they've been so bad? The defense has been so bad on these opening drives. Like, the Patriots get scored on every single opening drive, and guess who that person is?
Bill Belichick.
Joe Judge.
It's Ben McAdoo.
Oh, my God.
Going well.
Meanwhile, 8 out of 11 games, the opposing offense has scored on the Patriots defense on the opening drive.
Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani repeating as MVPs last night. The Yankee slugger, as we've discussed, thanked his 9-month-old daughter for her unwavering support and launch angle suggestions. And the two-way Dodger thanked his dog for much-needed conversations like this.
You know how to cut to the core of me, Baxter. You're so wise. You're like a miniature Buddha covered in hair. Come again? You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please. Huh? You pooped in the refrigerator? And you ate a whole wheel of cheese? How'd you do that? It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
More amazing than Shohei hitting and pitching. His 4 MVPs are the second most all-time, 3
Kind of a big deal.
less than Barry Bonds.
Such a good movie.
Major MLS news yesterday. Owners approving switching to a summer to spring calendar, matching the way the rest of the world plays. This would start in 2027 with opening day in mid-July and the MLS Cup in May, with a roughly 6-week winter break from mid-December into February. This still needs approval from the Players Association, and apparently that is not a given.
Well, it's the correct steps to, build a respectable league. You play with the rest of the world. Maybe you add some relegation here, and maybe you actually have a soccer league.
No, we don't do relegation here. That's not our thing.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why MLS will continue to be a joke.
What are you going to relegate them to? There's no other lower
to the USL.
league.
Yeah,
get the MLS together with the USL. Make the one giant American.
What's the USL?
The United Soccer League, obviously.
I've never heard of them before. I work in sports.
You need
That's
to
on
have,
you.
You need to have a pyramid.
I don't think so.
You need to have pyramid level soccer for you to be respectable in that sport. Simple. Very simple.
I mean, I'll defer to you on that. But
also, more big MLS news. You don't need a MLS season pass anymore to watch the games. If you have Apple TV, you get every MLS game now.
Starting next season.
Starting next season. So that's also a positive for the MLS.
Because that was one of the worst business decisions ever.
Stupidity.
Wouldn't this calendar change almost hurt viewership? Because now they're going to be competing with 5 other leagues. Like when they play over the summer, it's literally just MLS and baseball.
I mean, there are issues. The winter break is designed to get them away from the NFL playoffs and obviously winter. But I think the bigger thing is they hurt themselves so much from the soccer business side by not being along the rest of the world that they have to do this.
I always said if I was going to start a network, Nico would be my guy. He's thinking like,
Nico's like, you got to zag.
Yeah. I don't know if Sean McDonough is listening. What's the head of TV?
Sean McManus.
Sean McManus.
Yeah.
Not Sean, or Sean McDonough. Anybody, he might be listening.
Any Sean Mick is
any powerful
I think
Sean.
McDonough's probably calling that
McNamara,
Oklahoma game
McDonald's.
today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I mean. Yeah. Wait, I don't think Sean McManus is there anymore either.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
We're also not CBS anymore, so he doesn't need to be your reference point.
I think Sean McManus is still there, isn't he? No?
No.
Oh, I did not know that. Well, I guess call Sean McDonough then.
It's right in the first place.
He and Greg McElroy on
Jalen McBrunston's reportedly dealing with a grade 1 right ankle sprain. He'll at least miss tonight's NBA Cup showdown with Miami. The Heat remain without Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I've lost my will to live.
On the court last night, the Hawks stayed hot, a 132-122 win in Utah. That's 4 in a row for Atlanta. Jalen Johnson doesn't miss. Trae Young, 31 points, 18 rebounds, 14 assists, and 7 steals.
Whoa. Never see Trae Young get those types of stats.
Bogues, thank you so much. Coming up next, we got some news yesterday that we're not sure how to interpret this. We're going to do our best. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Daily. Do you believe that? Dion.
You believe that?
Haven't played that in a while. Welcome back, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. We used to report on Deion Sanders literally every day.
Yeah, it feels like a long time ago.
Feels like a different life. Meanwhile, we did get some news, though. Colorado's on their bye right now, and thankfully, because they only have 3 wins this season. But, Pearl, the bigger news is kind of about Deion's future. So, obviously, he's had a lot of health issues, very serious things, and we're sorry about that because you never want to see anyone suffer. Now the athletic director who hired Deion Sanders at Colorado announced he's going to be stepping down after this year. So I don't know if Deion Sanders was planning to coach next year or not because of his own personal stuff. But with a new athletic director coming in, I would have to imagine that they want to move heaven and earth to keep Deion. You know, despite all the health issues, and I know that the season has not gone well, but he recruited well this year. He was able to get one of the top quarterbacks in the country. You want to keep that guy on campus, Juju Lewis? Like, you want to keep Deion at all costs. Whoever is the next athletic director, that's got to be number 1, 2, and 3 is figure out a way to keep Deion as your head coach.
You know, I'm not so sure I agree with that because what's the real future of Deion? How long do you think he's going to be in the job? I mean, wouldn't you rather have a young coach who can be there for the long haul? Because I get the sense, based on the health stuff and the fact that his son is in the NFL, I don't know that you move heaven and earth because what are you talking about, 1-2 years? Is that really what you're doing as a new AD? Aren't you trying to build a 10-year level of success at Colorado?
Yeah, but they've had trouble with that.
I know.
And
I know. Easier said than done.
These Dan Lannings and stuff are like, or Dabo Swinney when he took the job at Clemson and kind of resurrected them. Like, it's hard to find these guys. And so for Colorado, I think Deion still holds a massive appeal. Clearly he does with the portal and his name recognition. And I think the coach has got to get a little better. You know, I mean, Pat Shurmur got his play calling duties taken away. He's brought in some real high-profile guys like Warren Sapp and Marshall Faulk.
Well, right. The guys who are not really experienced.
No, I mean, these are guys who are, you know, I don't know how much actual coaching they're doing. Maybe a little bit. But more like, you know, for support.
One thing that kind of hurt them this year is that Juju Lewis, their 5-star quarterback recruit, he was 17 for the first 3 weeks of the season. That's too young to really make an impact. And here's the thing: is he going to finish his career at Colorado? The way college football goes, probably not. It's going to be a tough road for Deion. I feel like Deion is only 65% there. I mean, I'm not there, and I don't want to say that. It just feels like a lot going on, especially with the health. If you're really good, you got to build a program. You're not going to win a title the next 2 years with Deion.
Yeah, to me, college football now is a year-to-year kind of thing. It's a little more like the NFL because you have free agency. You have to re-recruit your roster, just bring in a whole new roster. I mean, the college football is even crazier than the NFL. You have some teams that have 50 or 60 new guys on a team. Like, that doesn't even happen in the NFL, that kind of turnover. So you have guys who have longer-term contracts. Like, it's a year-to-year league. You never know when you get the right combination, and all of a sudden you're fighting for a Big 12 title.
But, yeah, I know Texas Tech did. You could do that in the Big 12. Ohio State had all returning veterans to win the title last year.
This isn't the Big 10. And this isn't Ohio State. This is the Big 12 where there's a lot of churn.
But you said you have to really go out of your way to keep Deion. For what? And at what cost? That's what I asked.
Well, I would say it's relevance. Let's go to Stan. Stan is in Westport, Connecticut. Stan, good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say about the Cal Raleigh Aaron Judge competition that I think the 30 voters for Cal Raleigh should be like defrocked and excommunicated, because how can you put a guy as MVP that hit 247 when the other guy hit 84 points higher, The slugging was like 99 points higher, the OPS, all of it. And it's not like Aaron Judge hit 19 homers. He hit 53 home runs. I mean, it's not even close. If they gave it to Cal Raleigh, it would have been the lowest batting average by any MVP in history by like over 20 points.
I know, but
So,
Stan,
that's my
batting
take.
average, I mean, what are you calling from the Stone Age? No one even cares about
How about
that
OPS?
anymore.
How about slugging? How
Okay,
about
that's
all
fine,
of
but-
it?
but how about-
On base percentage?
Well, let's
He's
talk-
not even close.
but
The
let's
guy's
talk
like
about what-
100 points away.
I get it, Stan. The counting stats, they're all there. Well, not the counting stats, obviously, because Cal Raleigh hit more home runs than Judge did. But I ask you, can I put it to you this way? You're a baseball fan, and take your bias out of it as being a Yankee fan, okay?
I'm not. I'm a Red Sox fan.
Okay, Red Sox fan. Okay, so
Yeah.
just as you are, what's actually more impressive? Cal Raleigh,
listen.
who has a huge workload as a catcher, for goodness sakes, switch hitter, 60 home runs. Mariners never win the division, finally did for the first time, and he's obviously the linchpin, and he literally is their MVP. What is more impressive than Judge, who puts together these really good seasons, so I'm not holding that against him, but guy who does miss some time with injuries, can DH if he wants to, all of that stuff.
True. I understand that point. However, I think what happens here with Aaron Judge, it's like basically LeBron. Like, he's so good all the time that you kind of get ho-hum about how great he is. You know, that's the thing. And so when someone comes up who hasn't been that great in their history, like Cal Raleigh, and has an outstanding year, you automatically think that's so much better. But listen, if Cal Raleigh hit 275, if he was much closer in those other stats that I mentioned, then fine. But
Stan,
they
he
were
had to
just
catch
too
every
far
day.
away.
He had to catch every day. I think you could make
okay,
that
fine,
argument,
but-
right? Like that's a legit. I know Judge is a plus defender, like a very good defender, but even Judge admitted he couldn't even really fire the ball in from right field like he usually does because he is dealing with lingering issues to his elbow.
Yep. No, I understand. His fielding was less than, and obviously we all remember last year's World Series.
Yep.
fifth
Well, that
inning.
was particularly
But,
bad.
you
yeah.
know, but listen, Cal Raleigh had an outstanding year. Good for him. Let him get better on those other stats and try to win it next year. That's all.
Stan, I get where you're coming from. Thank you so much for the call. Good to talk with you. I just think about all the things that a catcher goes through, right? All the tip pitches that you get right in the you-know-where. All the just how hard it is to play that position and then to turn around and hit 60 home runs. It's a historic season for a catcher. You know, Aaron Judge, great season. One of his great seasons. Maybe he's right. Maybe Stan's right that you know, it's like Judge versus Judge and how much can he continue to impress us. But we're going to remember the Cal Raleigh season for being historic for the position. This is just another good Judge season.
Yeah, I mean, if you vote for Raleigh, then you don't believe in analytics. That's just the bottom line because the numbers are just so overwhelmingly towards Judge.
Well, that's the hitting numbers. Like you're taking one set of numbers where it's not a hitter's award, it's an MVP award.
I mean, but look at wins above replacement, though. Is his catching making that much of a difference? I mean, yeah, you're taking the hitting numbers because that's how you win baseball games.
Well, or do you also win baseball games by handling a staff, by playing one of the most demanding physical positions on the baseball diamond?
You do, but you win more games when you are just absolutely cannot be pitched to and get on base half the times you're up.
Well, Cal Raleigh hit 60 home runs, bro. It's not
Yeah,
like he
I
was
mean-
an easy out.
But his analytics are so far below Judge. I mean, it's really drastic.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Who do you think deserved to be the AL MVP, Aaron Judge or the big dumper, Cal Raleigh? Coming up next, Nick Costos from You Better You Bet joins us. Don't move.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
All right, Pearl. Good win last night from the New England Patriots. They continue to roll. And listen, the schedule's not putting up a lot of resistance. They got to play the hapless Jets last night, but they did take care of them. It was a bit of a game in the fourth quarter. 1-score lead by the Patriots going into the fourth. But ultimately, they were in control of this game. I don't know if it's enough for me to give Drake May my MVP vote if I had one. I think there's been some more impressive performances so far this year, but no doubt the Patriots, this turnaround is legit.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. The Patriots don't have that many more challenging games. If he can keep on beating up on bad teams, he might just land in the MVP winner circle. He's the favorite right now. He looks better right now. He was under, I know it's a Jets.
Yeah, the Jets will make anyone look good.
His ability to move and throw accurately is no joke. Because usually when young quarterbacks move their feet, you never know what's going to happen. Drake May is putting it on everybody last night. Even the incompletes were mostly drops.
Yeah, the one thing about the Patriots, though, it's like they've got a real, I guess they got a real test when they went to Buffalo and won, but Buffalo's got all kinds of problems. They went down to Tampa and won, but Tampa's got all kinds of injuries. And you're right, the schedule continues to be a cakewalk for them. So probably the first time they get tested is going to be in the playoffs. And by that time, they could have the number 1 seed. There could be a ton of buildup. Drake May might be at the MVP of the regular season. And I just don't know how they would fare going up against one of the best teams in the NFL. Like, you draw the Chiefs in the first round, what's going to happen then? They've not seen anything like Chris Jones.
Yeah, that's why I don't think anybody on planet Earth is betting them to win the Super Bowl, and they're about 10th or 11th.
But I'm saying win a game in the playoffs. Forget Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they win a game
I think
in the playoffs.
that all depends on how it lays out. Do we know it's going to be the Chiefs? There's a lot that could happen between now and then. By the way, he's been tested a little bit. They did face Cleveland. The Cleveland's defense, by the way, just absolutely annihilated him, and he still kept getting up. That dude, he's got a little bit of Josh Allen and maybe a little bit of Joe Burrow. I think he's actually going to be a better. Like, Josh Allen needs his legs more than I think Drake May is going to need his legs. I feel like he's a combo of a bunch of different quarterbacks. Josh Allen is going to be the most obvious one, I guess. But look at the throws last night where he was moving around. Oh my God! Like, it doesn't affect his accuracy at all. I'm kind of into him, and I kind of disagree. Winning at Buffalo, I mean, that's a test. I know you're down on your Bills, but that's still somewhat of a test.
All right, let's get to our pal Nick Costos. He's the host of You Better, You Bet, and he joins us every Friday at this time. Good morning, Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing today?
We're doing good. Let's start with college because that's where we love to go first here with you. A little Saturday and then Sunday. So obviously one of the biggest games on the slate is number 10 Texas traveling to Georgia, who's ranked 5th right now. Georgia -6.5. So a healthy favorite for the Bulldogs. How do you see this game?
So I actually think that we're going to see Georgia get bet up a little bit here. I don't think it's crazy that we may see a 7 here, Georgia favored by 7. And if and when that happens, I'm going to bet Texas. And I'll probably back it up with a Texas money line wager. And the reason why I'm interested in that, I do think, Arch Manning's floor is pretty low. Like, I don't think anyone would be really surprised if he came out tomorrow and threw 3 interceptions and had a terrible game. Would that really be shocking if that happens, given what he's done in some games this year, even if he was better coming into the bye? I don't think it would be terribly surprising on the road at Georgia. I also don't think it would be that surprising if he's the best quarterback on the field, if he outplays Gunnar Stockton and has one of those games where we're all thinking, wow, like, this is the guy we thought he was going to be coming into the year. I do think there's a bit of volatility in this game because I don't know that Arch has reached his ceiling yet, and I'm willing to bet into those outcomes. So Texas +7 if and when it gets there, and I'll have a small bet on Texas to win the game, playing into maybe Arch Manning's just awesome, and maybe Texas just wins if that's the case.
A lot of quarterback talk there. I heard a metric, Texas by DVOA has the best run defense in the country. The funny thing to me is Texas didn't run the ball until about week 8. Do you really think it comes down to Arch and Gunnar Stockton, or would you say that the defense is like overall team-wise, who do you have more faith in, Georgia or Texas? Because I have more faith in Georgia overall. If you take the quarterbacks out, I feel like the Bulldogs have an edge there.
And by the way, like, Georgia also has the quarterback edge, to your point. And the answer to your question,
yeah.
Going into the game,
yeah,
who do you trust more, like Gunnar Stockton or Arch Manning? It's Gunnar Stockton, right? But I think we can agree, though, right? Even if that's true, and I'm acknowledging that it is, and it's possible that we come out of the game tomorrow and just, yes, it was Gunnar Stockton, it was Georgia, it's Kirby Smart at home, they never lose in Athens unless it's like the game against Alabama earlier this year. What I'm saying is that I don't think it's crazy to think, and I think it's definitely a possibility. You wouldn't say this about that many quarterbacks. Like that Arch Manning could go in there and outplay Gunnar Stockton. I think it's within the range of outcomes. Yeah. And if you get that high ceiling, like 95th percentile Arch Manning game that and it's not just like jabronis like me, like people that are breaking down the all-22 in dimly lit rooms and wiping Cheeto dust off their fingers. People that we respect that write about the NFL draft and cover college, like it's an industry pumping out talent for the NFL, all think that Arch has this crazy potential. So if that's true, then why can't he be better than Gunnar Stockton tomorrow and play great? He could also face plant. Georgia's a big favorite. That's why I'm saying I'll have a bet on Texas money line as well as +7.
Nick, did you? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Nick, did you hear a little chatter before about Drake May?
Yeah, you kind of turned him into like Voltron,
Yes.
He's part Joe Montana, part Josh Allen, part Mahomes, part Joe Burrow. He's the greatest quarterback ever, apparently.
Well, Maggie's been saying, and I think she might be onto something, that the New England win over Buffalo might not mean what we think it means, because she is, rightfully so. She's been calling every Buffalo game rightly. So I'm curious what you think of Buffalo -5.5, because Maggie's been pretty accurate about her Bills.
Well, what does Maggie think about the game?
She thinks they're in trouble.
They're vulnerable. I've been saying this all year long. The run defense stinks. They have a lot of injuries. They have no reliable pass-catching weapons. And, Josh Allen has to work way too hard. And some of these, and if James Cook has even a hangnail, it's not a good day.
Yeah, the Bills' offense was really frustrating last week, obviously, against Miami. And you really feel when Allen drops back to pass, they have no one that can win down the field. So the report, right, that they wanted Jalen Waddle, I thought made a ton of sense. And then Waddle, like Moss's Maxwell Hairston on that long touchdown. So, I think Buffalo's going to be okay. I don't think they're going to play like that the rest of the season. They're too good. But this is what I've been saying all year. I think, and I was really wrong about the Chiefs game. The Bills played great in that game. So I'm not right about every Bills game. But I do think that, when we get to the playoffs, and can I toss something out there to you guys? I think this is the way that we should be thinking about stuff. I think you guys will really like this. So, who do you guys think is the most likely team right now to win? And I promise I'll tie this together, to win the AFC North. Ravens. Okay. What's likely then, think about the Patriots record, like the Broncos, what the Chiefs record would be if they surpassed the Broncos and Indy. So Baltimore is likely to be the division champion with the worst record, the 4 seed. Who's going to win the AFC East?
Patriots.
Okay. Who's likely in the AFC to have the most wins as a wild card team then, or at least a strong chance of that?
Probably Buffalo.
So we're looking probably in the first round, in the wild card round, Buffalo at Baltimore. Like Josh Allen at Lamar Jackson. I actually think that's the most likely outcome for wild card weekend.
What about the two AFC West teams, though? The Chargers and the
It could be the Chargers, it could be the Chiefs, but I'm saying I think Buffalo would be most likely to have the most wins. Right. As far as the wild card teams go. And if you get Buffalo and Baltimore, I think Buffalo's getting bounced in that game by Derrick Henry and the Ravens. I don't think this is going to go well in January for Buffalo. As far as this game is concerned, you do think that the offense will be better, even if there are limitations in the passing game. I worry about Baker Mayfield, who was scrambling so much earlier in the year. And he said, coming out of the bye week, right, going into last week, that the oblique injury had healed and he was going to be running more. 0 scrambles for Baker Mayfield last week. So, that's a part of the game that's kind of eliminated for Tampa. You didn't run the ball at all last week against the Patriots. Now, Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin might be back, and that's huge for their offense and, just a little diversity because Bucky's got juice, and then Ibuka doesn't have all the pressure on him. I think the Baker stuff would lead me towards Buffalo winning this game by margin, but I don't think I'll have a bet on it.
Nick Costos joining us from You Better You Bet. All right, let's kick around some more NFL games. Small Rams, 3-point favorite right now at home against the Seahawks. Could make an argument these are 2 of the best teams in the NFL.
Maybe the 2 best teams in the NFL. You could certainly make that argument. I bet the Rams on Monday when this was -2.5. I always say it's why you want to listen to You Better You Bet during the week. And honestly, you don't have to be a betting expert to look at that number and say, hey, where's it going to go? Matthew Stafford at home against Sam Darnold. And, we could talk about the Rams offensive personnel and how they're playing all these tight ends and what they're going to do against Mike McDonald and the Seahawks defense. I mean, this is a truly wonderful matchup, right? McVay versus McDonald, offensive wizard versus defensive wizard. I don't want to do any of that. I want to take a walk down narrative street here.
Okay.
And let's dumb this down.
Grab your coat.
Yeah, lowest common denominator here. And the take is I will pay to see Sam Darnold beat me in a big spot against the Rams and Matthew Stafford. Now, I've been consistent for a long time on this show with you guys and on my show this year and on other shows. If you could tell me Sam Darnold's going to play like this in January, the Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. Like I think they're the best team if Darnold plays like this. But we've seen in the big spots when the lights are brightest, Week 18 last year, on the road at the Lions, NFC North championship game, number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs, face plants. Monday night in the wild card game in LA against these Rams, face plants in that game. So maybe it's going to be different this year. And I'm not saying it can't be. What I am saying is I'll pay to see it. I laid Rams 2.5. Honestly, like 3 is the perfect number. I wouldn't bet the game now.
All right, the opposite end of the spectrum, the New York Giants, your New York Giants. I got to tell you, the second Jameis Winston got that starting job, I feared for my friends who are Packers fans. Packers favored by a touchdown. Now, I think I'm not alone. Jameis makes this game scary for Green Bay in my mind.
Yeah, so, it's a very interesting handicap, right, where I think there's definitely a strong case to be made for the Giants, where we've seen the Packers now. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, and it doesn't impact the way I feel about this game. I'm out on Green Bay as a Super Bowl contender. Like, I don't want to hear it anymore after the way Monday night went. Like, I'm out. And then the Panthers lost the previous week. And now here's Jameis, right? Where if it's Russell Wilson, maybe the Giants can cover and keep the game close, but like they're not going to win with Russ as the quarterback. With Jameis, he could throw for A, 500 yards, B, 4 touchdowns, C, 5 interceptions, or D, all of the above in the same game. So you've got a Packers team that's struggling with the volatility of Jameis Winston, and I think some people could arrive at a Giants money line bet. Like, why can't the Giants just win the game? Packers stank recently. Here's Jameis. I actually want to come in on the opposite side here. I think the Packers are going to kill them. I'm like Maggie's right about the Bills. I feel like I'm right a lot about the Giants. The Giants stink, okay? And this idea that, like, it's this, no pun intended, sleeping Giant roster. Like, wow, they have all these great players and Brian Dable was just bad. Hey, okay, like, you want to make that argument? Here's my counter. They lose every game. Like, the players can't be that good if they lose every game. Like, I'm sorry. The players are not good. I think the Packers are going to railroad them on Sunday. I love Green Bay.
You misunderstood. Sleeping Giants meant the Giants were asleep for some of their games,
It meant coma.
especially late against the Broncos.
Oh, they've been sleeping since Odell Beckham and company went on the boat.
All right, Nick, a couple more from you on the NFL slate. So we got some really good games. You have Kansas City at Denver. Kansas City, a 3.5-point favorite on the road. And then Sunday night, you got the Lions visiting Perloff's Eagles. Eagles, 2.5-point favorite. What do you think about those games?
I have a stronger take on the Sunday night game, so
Okay,
I'll start
go ahead.
there. I mean, you guys know. I mean, I love the Eagles. Like will the Eagles win a game at home? Like, that's the bet. Yes. This is where, like, the analytics nerds, and this is not to like paint myself as like I'm the coolest person, but like this stuff really aggravates me. Where like the Eagles, like all literally like DJ Khaled style, like all they do is win, and then after the game, it's they didn't. Jalen Hurts doesn't throw down the field in the middle of the field, and he doesn't step up in the muddy pocket.
No, it's
all
AJ
these reasons.
Brown is on a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's just like all these things that have nothing. Like, the game starts and it ends, and the Eagles win, and that's what happens. Like, every time they play, is they just win, and then after the game, it's well, but. Or yeah, but. Here's my yeah, but. Yeah, but, like, they won the Super Bowl last year, and I think they're going back to the Super Bowl again. So it's not an anti-Detroit thing at all. I think the Lions are awesome. And fascinated to see, actually, and this will be, like, something fun during the game. So Dan Campbell's calling the plays last week against Washington.
Yeah.
The Commanders are like an ACC defense.
Yeah.
Like, they have absolutely no chance. This is a legit defense now that Dan Campbell's going to be calling plays against. How's that going to go? The Lions have injuries in the secondary. This is just like, I just think the Eagles are the better team. They have more talent. They're at home. Spread is less than 3. Give me the Eagles. As far as the Chiefs-Broncos go, and this is just what the betting market tells you what it thinks about something. The Broncos are 8-2. The Chiefs are 5-4. The Broncos are at home. The Chiefs are 3.5-point road favorites. And the Broncos have one of the best home field advantages in the league with the crowd and at altitude. So the implication here is that if this game were in Kansas City, the Chiefs would be a 7-point favorite. Like, that's basically what this is here, or close to 7. And does that pass the smell test for everybody? For me, like, it kind of does. But, Denver's defense is good enough even without Patrick Surtain. And we've seen the Chiefs be weird this year where, the 100-yard pick six to Devin Lloyd, or Travis Kelce's drop against the Eagles, or Kelce injuring his teammate week 1 in Brazil against the Chargers, where I don't know if I want to lay more than a field goal, but I am very confident the Chiefs will win the game. So I'll have Kansas City money line and some parlays. I would be floored if the Broncos won. I would not be floored if the Chiefs only won the game by 3.
On that topic, Nick, I'm looking at Super Bowl futures, and Kansas City's still pretty good favorite to win it all. I see we were debating earlier in the show, the Colts are 10-1. They're about 6 in odds. Is there any reason that you would take them? I don't know if you change your Super Bowl future bets or you just go with your preseason bet and ride it. Is that a worthy investment in the Colts, or to me, I don't ever see Daniel Jones winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, can I answer your question with a question?
Yeah.
Okay, Colts. Chiefs at Colts in the playoffs. Who are you picking to win?
Chiefs.
Okay, so then no.
Yeah. No, I mean
Colts versus Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Eagles. Yeah, I can't. There's nothing the Colts can do to convince me right now. I'm sorry. I know they're 8-2. I'm just not buying.
What are you apologizing for?
Well,
the quarterback has a ceiling. There's no apologies to be made.
Well, Nick, because we were talking about this before, and we're talking about Nick Kostos of You Better You Bet, the sort of new guard in the AFC versus the old guard in the AFC this year. So the new guard would be Colts, it would be Patriots, throw Denver in there, kind of like the newer, good record, maybe put the Chargers in there, I don't know. And then also versus Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, kind of the 3 teams that have been there at the end. And do you have faith in any of the new guard? Again, Colts, Patriots, Denver, and I guess we'll throw the Chargers in there. I guess I'm not sure where they fit. That they will actually come out of this conference.
Chargers 0. The offensive line's not good enough.
Right.
That's the tip of the spear, as Jim Harbaugh says. They're down. They lost their 2 all-pro tackles.
Yeah.
So no chance for them. And it's not even their fault. I would love to have seen it with Alt and Slater. Slater's been out the whole year. Now Alt's done for the year. 0 for the Chargers. 0 for the Broncos. Bo Nix is not winning 3 games in the AFC playoffs. 0. And I bet the Broncos to make the playoffs and over win total. I'm not a Broncos hater, but the question is not, can they win 12 games? The question is, can they win 3 games in January? No way. I would say for Indy, no, because Daniel Jones has got to win 3 games against some of the Titans, not Tennessee, in the AFC. The Patriots are probably the team with the best chance because I think May is the best of these quarterbacks. And that includes Justin Herbert, who's awesome. But do you really trust the Patriots defense in a massive spot? I don't. And I'll give you, I think you guys will like this. You guys love history. And honestly, this is a good narrative. It's a good piece of content here. In 2018, Patrick Mahomes won MVP in his second season as a starter. And the Chiefs hosted the AFC Championship game against the old guard, now older than Mahomes is now, but Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And the Patriots beat them in overtime, sent the Chiefs home, and went on to win another Super Bowl, Brady's last Super Bowl in New England. What I think we're going to get in January is the inverse. Drake May, possible MVP, second year as the starter, at home on either Championship Sunday or Divisional Sunday, hosting Mahomes and the Chiefs. And Mahomes did to May what Brady did to him and sends Drake May in the Patriots.
Well, what happened next?
Don't we need an offsides call there that really helped out the
Patriots?
Patriots?
We'll have D Ford will light the fire or do whatever. Yeah.
Can I ask both of you a question real quick?
Yeah.
On that topic, yes or no, do Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, or Josh Allen, do any of those 3 quarterbacks win a Super Bowl in their career?
Yes, but there's a but attached to it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah, the Bills have to fire Sean McDermott and the Ravens have to fire John Harbaugh.
Okay. I thought you were going to say something else, Nick, not to jump you there.
It's okay.
This is my big fear as a Bills fan. I've acknowledged this on the show already. Josh Allen is the next Matthew Stafford.
Where win on the second team, yeah.
Wins on the second
somewhere
team.
Else.
Wins on the second team, and you have to convince yourself you're happy for him when you're actually not.
Oh, don't do that. No, Maggie, listen, your energy is directed in the wrong way.
No, I want McDermott gone too.
But that's where 100% of the energy should be.
And
going.
I want Brandon Beane gone too.
Great. You have a huge audience here on your national show. I would hammer that point home as much as possible because again, things are meant to be broken, but I've been saying it for years. In the history of the National Football League, we have never seen a quarterback coach pairing be together as long, and they're the same draft class, as John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, Sean McDermott and Josh Allen, like they haven't even been to a Super Bowl yet. And we've never seen it go this long before and succeed after the fact.
Well, and the problem is that Sean McDermott can't beat Andy Reid when it matters. And so he cannot do this. And he also, let's call it what it is, has a lot of trouble with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah,
so
like fire the coach.
There's
Get
some
a new
major
coach in
issues
there.
here.
Like Josh Allen's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh wait,
like Lamar's probably gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like you're not gonna fire the quarterback. So this is what the definition of insanity. Like these two teams, it's incredibly frustrating. I bet the Chiefs every year against them. It's great. They keep doing the same thing and they expect a different result, and it never changes. So people get really mad when you say, like, the Bills, McDermott's not a bad coach, Harbaugh's not a bad coach. I would love for either to coach my team, the Giants. But, like, this idea that it's just going to be different this year, why?
Yeah. Well,
they lose every year.
Yeah.
Like, do something different.
Nick, just last one for you, and you brought up exactly what I was going to ask you next. So we have not talked since Brian Daboll got let go, and that was I had two plans for the Giants. Plan A was trade for John Harbaugh. I think he could really help your team. And then plan B was Ryan Day from Ohio State. Who do you want to be the head coach of the New York Giants?
Ryan Day.
Yeah. Got a good one there.
I would be devastated.
He's
if they
not
named
Urban
Ryan
Meyer.
Day.
He's better.
Okay. He strikes me like he's like a CEO. That's how I feel about Ryan Day. He's left to the court, and I think I bet Ohio State to win the title last year and this year. I would not want Ryan Day. Who was the first guy you mentioned?
Trade for John Harbaugh. I'm giving you two CEOs. You've been doing this long enough with the offensive coordinators, and it doesn't work.
No, I'm out on Harbaugh. Harbaugh to me has been on tilt for years. His decision making is erratic, and I feel like it used to be real. Like we used to watch Ravens games, or I did at least, and feel like when it came down to it, and there was a big decision to be made, John Harbaugh was going to do the right thing. And we see this with coaches all the time. And Harbaugh's way better than some of the names I'm about to mention here. So I'm not saying they're the same. This was like Brandon Staley first year with the Chargers, or even Dable in his first year with the Giants. When it came down to it in the biggest spots and the coach would make, even if it didn't work, you felt like the decision was the right decision. And Staley gets bullied by the media after they miss the playoffs, and he becomes captain conservative. And Dable's decision making is all over the place. And that was detailed in Jordan Renan's column for ESPN. And Harbaugh, since they haven't won since Flacco was the quarterback, almost 15 years ago now, like his decision making is all week one against your Bills. That punt back to Josh Allen. Like if we're talking like 7 years ago, does Harbaugh ever punt that ball? Like I think he's lost it. Not in the way like Grandpa's lost it, but like I don't think he's got it anymore. I don't think he's got the
who do you
want to coach?
Yeah,
the
we're going
team?
over time, but who do you need?
Who do you want to coach the Giants?
I don't think it would happen because think if this is a crazy sentence, because he's suing the team. I want Brian Flores.
Oh, he's suing the league. Oh, and specifically the Giants. I forgot about that.
He would, and like
Brian.
I put that video out, and people are like, "Oh, he's suing the league. Don't you know that?" Okay, like, do you think if the Giants called him, or like, "Hey, we'd like you to coach our team," he'd be like, "Well, no, I'm pressing forward with the lawsuit." I think he'd probably take the head coaching opportunity. I'd love to see him get a second chance. He's got to play a little nicer in the sandbox. Like, oh, they keep this mean to Tua. This is professional football, everybody. Like, not participation trophy culture. Sorry. And then I'd like to see when Mike McDaniel gets fired, let's take the Dolphins cast-offs. Flores head coach, McDaniel offensive coordinator, Jackson Dart, and then I think we're cooking with gas.
That's an odd culture mix, though, those two.
It's a weird dinner date. Okay.
I want Brian Flores. That's my answer to the question.
Final answer, Brian Flores. Nick, you're the best. Thanks for doing this. Nick is the host of You Better You Bet. You can watch him, listen to him all over the place. He is must listen before you place a wager. Got to check in with Nick. Thank you, Nick.
Wishing everybody minimal sweats winning bets. The absolute very best of luck.
All right, we'll come back in a second. Got a lot to react to off of our interview with Nick. And, of course, somebody, Pearl, is talking to the press. Somebody is making some big allegations. We'll tell you who, what, where, why next.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. I happened to be at a place yesterday, Pearl, where TVs were on with no sound. And it happened to be showing, it was a public place, obviously, and it happened to be showing the new Netflix show or movie Frankenstein.
Yeah.
That is maybe not the best movie for like the middle of the afternoon.
Where were you?
I was at a nail salon with a bunch of chicks.
So they have Netflix on this TV.
Yeah, and I think it
That's
just
pretty
goes
cool.
through like the whatever's number one.
Yeah.
It's not like the normal stuff that you find in chick salons, which is like rom-coms and whatever. It's at one point, the dude, I'm not spoiling anything. At one point, the guy's got a saw, and he's just like sawing off someone's leg, like a cadaver's leg, to make this Frankenstein. It's pretty gross. Pretty gross. Not going to lie. I know it's the number one movie right now on Netflix.
I was telling you guys before, I was simultaneously watching the Jets Patriots game and the Eddie Murphy doc.
Oh,
Which I
didn't even know there was an Eddie Murphy doc.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot of hype in the last couple of weeks. It is totally delivers. Oh my God, is it awesome?
Is it the real truth or is it just
No,
a
it's
polished, sanitized version?
It's mostly interviews with Eddie. So for what that's worth. No, there's not a lot of downside, but it's still completely awesome.
Wait, you mean the donkey from Shrek?
Yeah, these guys, you know what Eddie Murphy said? He said a lot of people know me mostly for Shrek. Yeah, younger people.
Which I get because Shrek was such a gigantic movie.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
But then they were
it's iconic.
I know.
He
Wow.
killed that movie. He was amazing as that donkey. Yeah, like honestly, he made that movie. I hate to say it.
Right, but like Pluto Nash came before it, and that like
He had some stinkers.
No, he talked about those.
Yeah.
No, he had some
Did he explain them? Apologize? What
No,
did he-
he's like,
Did he apologize for Norbit? Can I get my $15 back for Norbit?
No, he's got 10 kids. He's got to work.
He basically said, he's like, yeah, I got a little off track with my movie choices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
he still had-
he was Axel Foley, and then all of a sudden he was, I don't know, something else.
He was like, like anti everything and this bad dude and the cool guy. And then he's Pluto Nash.
Well, then he told a story. He was nominated for an Oscar for Dreamgirls, where he played the Marvin Gaye
Yeah.
character, and he lost it because Norbit came out a month before the voting. He said people saw Norbit. They're like, there's no way we're giving Norbit an Oscar. He's like, it was terrible timing.
That's hilarious.
He wrote Norbit. He was explaining, he's like, I had this fever dream of a script called Norbit. But then he
I
showed
hate it.
his ability to make himself up as other characters, like in those silly Dr. Dolittle movies. Incredible.
Right.
Wow, that's funny. That's not even 1, 2, 3, or 4 of what I think of with Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
I
you
think of
should
his
see.
stand-up. I think of SNL when he's James Brown going around the hot tub.
They did all that.
Gumby.
Yeah, Gumby,
Right,
Mr.
right, right.
Robinson's Neighborhood.
But they did. They spent tons of time on all that.
No, I'm saying if you ask me what I associate him more closely with, it's not any of the newer stuff.
Well, the Shrek thing, because, the Gumby stuff was 1982. So that was 40 years ago. I think a lot of people, Shrek's wildly popular. The makeup process is nuts. He would do
To
6
be the
hours
donkey?
to just do one scene as like the old guy in Coming to America.
Oh, yeah, of course, Coming to
Would
America.
take 6 hours. A lot of people thought his multiple characters in Coming to America was like the peak of his career too.
Oh, yeah, when he's every guy in the barbershop. Yeah.
Man wants to be called Muhammad Ali. I'm going to call him Muhammad Ali.
His mama called him Clay. I'm calling him Clay.
yeah, it was. It's pretty cool. And I've watched like 15 minutes. I don't know why. I watched like 15 minutes of Frankenstein. That you're so right. That's tough.
But just
That's
like,
a tough watch.
And not with a bunch of women, like.
Why so? I feel like hunky guys. No.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm sure there's someone out there who like this, but this is like a group of women in a nail salon. So you have women who are in their 70s, in their 20s, 40s.
Yeah. And?
I don't want to see bodies getting sawed with a handsaw.
Well, I did notice it was the best looking Frankenstein I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh, Frankenstein's hot, which also is weird.
There it is.
Because
There
he's
it is,
supposed
yep.
to be, it's not me. They made him hot, and it's all CGI. It's so weird.
I kind of thought it was a new take. It's sort of like a teen model playing Frankenstein. And Oscar Isaac's cool. He's a good looking dude too. No, nothing. I think that's the kind of movie you would play at a nail salon.
There were so many just moments where there were just women from all over the salon just going, "Oh my god, oh god!" They were horrified. It's like nanas in there.
And a lot of what's wrong with a movie filled with naked men for this thing?
Yeah, and there was a lot of nudity, which is
Hell
weird
yeah.
for the nail salon.
Really?
What gender?
Like naked,
A
like
lot of male
naked
nudity.
dead bodies, or
I'm out.
No, at one point, the Frankenstein, but they put underpants on him at some point, which is so silly, and shoes. But anyway, it's so dumb. At one point, Oscar Isaacs is naked.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's a male nudity movie. I think
Right.
it'd be perfect for a nail salon.
Where can I find this film?
Netflix.
You're into male nudity, brother?
Yeah.
And I think there's some female nudity too.
Oh,
For some
now
reason,
I'm in. Now I'm in. Both feet.
A lot of shirtless guys, too.
Yeah,
I
funny,
did
you-
notice it. It was glaring.
In 2025, can't find pictures of naked people anywhere. It's really hard.
No, I mean,
I'm dripping with sarcasm here. I mean,
I agree.
To see somebody's backside is now like that's on daytime TV.
Thank
at
you,
the nail salon.
Thank you, FCC.
All right, Bugs, what do you got?
I got headlines once again, sponsored by Skechers. Watch the Skechers World Champions Cup this December 4th, 5th, and 7th on ESPN and ABC. It didn't feel that close, but the Jets were technically still kind of maybe within reach of the Patriots in the fourth quarter last night until
Justin Fields at work. Deep in his own end, he drops the snap, and Fields is in trouble. The ball is still loose, and the Patriots seemingly have it at the 10. New England takes over.
Dumb teams do dumb things.
That's Scott Zolak. Do we think the 6-year-old version of him would have pushed Maggie's kid during gym class?
No, I think if the definitely. But if the Jets could have like an epitaph, it'd be stupid teams do stupid thing. I'm sorry. Well, EJ's not here, so I guess we can talk freely about the Jets without offending him.
I kind of feel like Scott Zolak wants to push me every time he sees me. Don't you get that vibe about Zolak?
No, he would never push a woman, but he's always wearing sunglasses, So when we see him on Radio Row, he looks intimidating.
The Pats tacked on a field goal after that Jets fumble, creating the 27-14 final score on Thursday Night Football. New England now on an 8-game win streak, 9-2 overall. No gaudy numbers from Drake May last night, 281 yards, 1 touchdown, but clean football again from the MVP candidate, his head coach, Mike Vrabel.
We have high expectations for Drake. He has high expectations for himself. He'll continue to improve. I know that he'll stay humble through this all.
Rookie running back Travion Henderson caught May's touchdown pass after running for 2 of his own. Far from all of that, the NFL has filed a grievance against the union's annual player survey about working conditions at each team. This is when we find out which teams have bad cafeterias and good weight rooms. The league says it violates the CBA by publicly airing criticism of teams. The union sent the letter to players that it has officially responded to this grievance and will still do the survey for this season.
Yeah, surprising. It's once the Jets got F- like 3 years in a row. Suddenly now they have a problem with it.
Now I'm desperate to read the next survey. Somebody put this out on Twitter. It has the exact opposite effect the owners want. Now everyone's going to be like, oh, this must be the real deal. I can't wait to see the next survey.
It's the irony is that apparently the Chiefs' locker room must be like a dungeon.
They redid it, though, based on the survey.
Yeah.
So there's some good outcomes.
Works.
Yeah, owners want to be bad owners in private.
You guys ever seen the video of the Chiefs owners box, by the way? Anyone seen that?
Mm-mm.
It's an apartment in the middle of the stadium. It's the craziest thing. Google it. You will enjoy it. It's like a living room with a fireplace.
Is this where Taylor?
It's the Hunts. The Hunt family.
She's not in that same box?
I don't think so. No, this is maybe I'm getting it wrong. This is the Hunt family has like an apartment / box. It's awesome.
Do they live there?
I don't think so.
Are they dorming there?
They all live together. They're billionaires. They all live in a one-room studio apartment. Yeah.
I mean, if my family owned the team, I would probably want to sleep there as much as possible.
That's my dream. I think I've told that.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Blue Jays Stadium. You know how there's a hotel that overlooks the stadium? That's where I want to live.
Just 3 NBA games last night. The Suns hammered the ghost of the Pacers 133-98. Atlanta won in Utah 132-122. And the Raptors won in Cleveland 126-113. Scotty Barnes, 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. Men's college basketball had its first top 10 shutout of the new season last night. Second-ranked Purdue, an 87-80 win at number 8 Alabama. Braden Smith scoring 21 of his 29 points in the second half. Shohei Ohtani, the unanimous choice for NL MVP. Aaron Judge only beat Cal Raleigh by 4 first-place votes in the AL. Ohtani now a 4-time MVP, the second most all-time. This is number 3 for Judge. And congrats to Panthers winger Brad Marchand.
Carlson over on the far side. Marchand the takeaway. Backhand to Luostarinen. Luostarinen looks long toward the empty net. He scores at to Luostarinen from long range. The empty netter, and that's 1,000 points for Brad Marchand, who picks up the primary assist on the goal. The Panthers take a 6-3 lead with 90 seconds to play, and Marchand Giants teammates onto the ice to celebrate at center ice.
Dude gets traded out of Boston last spring, wins another Stanley Cup, signs a long-term extension in Florida, and now this huge group hug for 1,000 career points for Brad Marchand. Florida wins the game 6-3 over Washington. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I just pulled up a picture and sent it to you guys of the Hunt Suite.
Yeah, what has it got in it?
It's got it's first of all, it's just really pretty. It's got a staircase, so it's like a duplex. It's definitely got a fireplace, a living room with normal chairs, a stained glass window for some reason.
Praying.
Fireplace.
That can't work, can it?
Yeah, and then you can see it looks out on the field. It's in your email. It's one of the funniest suites I've ever seen. I've seen videos of it too. I assume this is legit. Maybe I'm being fooled by AI. It's really clever the way they embed it into the stadium without taking up so much room. But the Hunts get off criticized. It feels like let the fans eat cake because I guess the rest of the stadium is not as great.
Well, you've been there, no?
No, I've never been to Arrowhead. No.
Arrowhead is cool because
Yeah.
it feels like a throwback, a little like Chavez Ravine kind of to me. Like, the scoreboard is like a cool shape. Like, I don't know. You feel like you're in a place where the history happened.
They want to go indoors there. They want to rebuild Arrowhead, and one of their proposals is to go indoors so they can have concerts in the off season.
Taylor?
Would you, if having seen it, would you want to keep that old school feel to it?
Well, unless I can't claim that I've done like a whole season there, but that wind is, I don't know how it's really affected the stadium. They don't talk about that much, but like it's obviously you're on the plains, right? So it's windy. And sometimes when I was there, it was like this really hot wind.
But
So
it seems like
hard to-
Lambeau kind of magical though.
Oh, yeah. And the decibel level. Remember, we talked about who has the greatest home field advantage? At Kansas City holds the Guinness record for most decibels in a stadium. I always thought it was Seattle, but it actually is Kansas City.
Yeah, they actually had when they played a game, they did like halftime or at the second quarter of one of those games. And yeah, they broke the record that was originally held in Seattle.
Pretty cool. Great home field advantage. Obviously, the fans are great. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Folks, thanks so much. Coming up, we will get to the anonymous report, that I 100% believe. MMP.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Sorry, I had a burp. Okay, so there was a story that is an anonymous source, Pearl, but I got to be honest, I totally believe it. And I don't want to say this to take out any fans of the Pittsburgh Pirates at all, but the story is about Paul Skeens. And the story was told to, I think, NJ Advanced Media, that Paul Skeens has been open with teammates about how, you know, he doesn't believe that the Pirates are ever going to put a winner together. Shocker. And that he wants to be, at some point, play for the New York Yankees. And, you know, Yankees, Dodgers, whoever it is, like these big spending teams, maybe it's Texas, Red Sox, your Phillies, whatever. But they specifically said Yankees, so it got a lot of attention, obviously. And here's the thing. I totally believe this. And I don't think that means that Paul Skeens is not, you know, going to give 100%. He obviously just unanimously won a Cy Young. He's such a, you know, he's such a talent. But this is like rinse, repeat, you know, when it comes to the Pirates. They have good talent. You know, the talent achieves in an individual way. They eventually sell that talent out to the highest bidder, and then you're forced to start all over again.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And listen, I'm not getting in, because I don't want to get yelled at by Bryce Harper. I'm not going to talk about a salary cap or a salary floor. You know, how the players are so adamant against it. It does feel like we're headed to labor trouble. I got to be honest. I don't have a strong opinion about the salary cap. They got to do something about these Pirates, right? Like, as a fan, a national fan, say, take my Phillies out of it, and they have to do something about this. It's ridiculous. Like, the NFL, you have bad teams, but you know in 3 years they can be back, and you'll never get the Pirates back.
Yeah, and the Pirates aren't even the lowest. Like, there are teams, and they'll look at it and say, well, listen, the Cincinnati Reds have a lower payroll, and they made the playoffs, and da-da-da. It's like, do you have not spending money or smart baseball? Listen, the Dodgers have shown us the way, okay? You want to win, you got to spend. And this is my question, though, about this anonymous report coming out about Paul Skeens. The report was he's told teammates that, you know, he has no faith in the Pirates and that he wants to be a New York Yankee. Once this comes out, if I'm the Pirates, like, I could trade him earlier. And I'm not saying that the Pirates solely exist to be like a minor league for the Yankees or something, or the Twins or whatever, or the, you know, insert whatever team you want. I just am saying, if he wants out, do I ultimately just try to put together a package now where he would, they could reset their franchise. You could,
but they can't though. That's the thing. The Pirates can't reset their franchise because if they draft 3 more stars, they'll just trade them. So
yeah, it just never ends.
Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle. That's why I almost feel like the league has to do something about this. Can I ask a question
They're
about
going to have
skiing?
a lockout. Yeah.
The anonymous source. Is there any connection between Skeens and the Yankees? Did he grow up a Yankees fan? I'm Googling now. He's from California. I'm
so was
curious.
Garrett Cole, and he was a big Yankee fan.
Yeah,
right?
right. I was wondering, is there any pictures of Skeens as a kid wearing a Yankees cap? I'm curious because he didn't. Sometimes I think there's something particular with the Yankees. It's not like he's saying, I just want to get to a big city, high revenue team. Some people just love the Yankees.
Yeah, but to be honest, and Manny, I know you are painfully aware of this, that the Yankees are now going to have they match the longest championship drought going into this season. I believe it's matched for the longest drought in history, which I think has to go back to the 50s?
What, the Yankees?
Yeah.
Yankees go back to 1923.
No. I'm talking about the drought. I think this is...
Well, they couldn't have had a drought in the 50s. They
No, it
won
would have
every
been the
year.
50s,
And
so it
they
must have
won
been into the...
between Gehrig and DiMaggio?
I got to double check it, but
Yeah.
I know that there's... I'm pretty sure I'm right about this.
Yeah,
that the Yankees have the longest drought now. The matches... Nico, you have my stat for me?
Yeah, so it was from 78
right.
to 96.
Right, right.
Didn't,
The
they
80s were the
Yeah, there was an
horrible
18-year drought where they didn't win.
Are we at 18 years from the A-Rod Matsui World Series?
Yeah,
that was
09.
in 09, yes.
So that would be 18 years would be 27.
According, I don't know. We're not math majors. Listen,
Yeah.
AI Overview is telling me that 16-season streak from 79 to 95 is when the Yankees had a World Series drought, currently matched by their ongoing drought from 2010 to the present.
So 16. Our math was terrible on the first
All
one.
right, well, we got there eventually, guys.
Yeah.
That's why we need calculators.
But I think it's like the Packers and the Steelers in the NFL. They're generations of Yankees fans. Just
Yeah,
because they
but-
haven't won, his grandfather might have been a Yankee fan.
Okay, but again, like... The Yankees, let's be honest, made the World Series 2 years ago, right? Not this past season, the season before. And before that, they were topping out at the ALCS. So it's not even like there's 15, 16 years of Yankee fans who have not tasted anything.
Yeah, but what's the most popular team in the NFL?
Well, the Chiefs are now coming for the Cowboys,
No, they're
according to Ani Bose.
Yeah, because they have Taylor Swift in the box. We'll see when she leaves if that's true. The Cowboys haven't won in 30 years, and there's still a lot of players who are like, man, I always dreamed of being a Cowboy. They weren't even alive for the 1995 Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, and we're going to get to a point where guys were not alive for 09, which is weird.
I wasn't alive for that 95 World Super Bowl championship. I have no idea what a championship is like for
Can
the
I
Dallas
give you
Cowboys,
a
and
quick
it's beautiful.
quick summation?
No, not really.
Please don't, because it's going to come
I
at
was
my
saying Bills
expense.
lose, but it wasn't the Bills. It was the Steelers in that
No.
one. So anyway.
I know that the Giants beat the Bills in the Super Bowl before I was born. Did you hear about that, Max?
Guys, what is going on? I got a game
See this
to
patch on my jersey
yeah, I
right
see your
here?
Lawrence Taylor. I got a game against the Bucks to focus on. All right, they might have to call me in to play middle linebacker.
Thanks for breakfast, by the way.
You're welcome. That's for Ryan Hickey, who won our Survivor pool
You
quite,
know, it's
quite
funny.
easily.
I had somebody left a wrapper for one of the bagels on here, and I threw it at the trash can, but I missed wide right, and it's on the ground over there.
Right. Thank you for that.
It's a Scott Norwood reference, by the way.
Took me 13 seconds to come up with that.
Oh,
I mean, just the worst. Your wide receiver hates you. I don't know. I have nothing else to come back.
Fight each other.
With the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm trying to work it. Can I come up with a pun for Music City Miracle before we end?
you guys have 45 seconds. Come on, fight each other.
Make your son
45
proud and punch someone.
I know. Someone called in, Perloff, someone called in today to say I did the right thing when my son got pushed.
Yeah.
To praise him for saying good job not fighting back, and tell the teacher,
Yeah.
and he's 6 years old, and Perloff, and someone from Vermont called in to
Yeah, we had
to
a
back
bowling
me
expert
up.
from Vermont. Manny, I can't believe you let that person through because your high school apparently was the war zone.
Oh, it was. Still is.
Meanwhile, we needed someone to call in like from I don't know, the jail. Where's our warden? Where's Big Dave? Bye guys, thank you.